The early 2000s was a weird time for the NBA, a post-Bulls Jordan league that lacked an overall depth and talent, yet was the last premier era of the NBA big man. You had established superstars such as Shaquille O'Neal, Chris Webber, Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, and Alonzo Mourning. You had the up-and-comers such as Kenyon Martin, Marcus Camby, Ben Wallace, Dirk Nowitzki, Pau Gasol, Tyson Chandler, and Elton Brand. You even had the veteran Hall of Famers on their last leg, such as Hakeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Karl Malone, and Dikembe Mutombo. Truly a golden era of big man in every phrase of the word. And the big man we'll be focused on today would likely fit in the early 2000s up-and-comer bracket, Jermaine O'Neal. Drafted 17th overall straight out of high school in the historic 1996 NBA draft class that featured Kobe Bryant, Ray Allen, and Steve Nash. O'Neal became the youngest player to ever play in an NBA game at that time. His career lasted 17 seasons, playing for the Trailblazers, Pacers, Raptors, Heat, Celtics, Suns, and Warriors. After joining the Pacers for the 2000-2001 season, O'Neal's career hit an apex that lasted from the 2001-2002 season to the 06-07 campaign. This stretch included 6 straight All-Star appearances, 3 straight All-NBA teams from 2002 to 2004, he was second team in 2004, and a conference finals appearance in 2004. In an era stuffed with centers and power forwards, who ranged from high-quality starters to Hall of Famers, O'Neal was regarded as one of the best in the league during that time. As impressive as he was during his peak, was it enough for him to be considered for the Basketball Hall of Fame? As good as he was as a Pacer, the rest of his career was average at best and arrestable at worst, pun intended. He started in Portland for the 1996-97 season, where he played the next 4 seasons. These Portland teams made the playoffs each season he was there, and even made the conference finals back-to-back years in 99 and 2000. In 2000, they took the Lakers to 7 games, losing 89-84 in the historic game that featured the iconic Kobe to Shaq alley-oop in the closing minutes of the game. By the way, Portland was up by more than 10 points in the game. It was a very successful run for Portland, a run that O'Neal had little to nothing to do with. During his time with the Trailblazers, O'Neal never averaged over 13.5 minutes per game. His most impactful season came in 1998, where he averaged 4.5 points, 3.4 rebounds, and 1 block per game. As underwhelming as O'Neal's career was when he was with Portland, it's hard to place a ton of blame on him for his struggles. In a time where selecting a high school player was still considered a taboo move, he was a teenager playing with grown men. The center and forward positions were especially stacked for Portland, in a roster that featured Arvydas Sabonis, Rasheed Wallace, Scottie Pippen, Detlef Schrempf, and Brian Grant. Unless they're an instant generational talent, it's extremely hard for a young prospect to get playing time for an NBA team contending for a title. You even see this in today's NBA, with the Golden State Warriors still trying to figure out how to fit their younger prospects into the rotation. Hard to hold Jermaine's first 4 seasons against him. After the Pacers went into a mini rebuild parting ways with veterans Mark Jackson, Rick Smits, Chris Mullin, and head coach Larry Bird, they traded for O'Neal in 2000. He was put into their starting unit and instantly made huge strides, posting career highs in every major statistical category other than field goal percentage, which makes sense because he went from taking 3 to 4 shots per game to 10 plus. He would average 12.8 points, 9.8 rebounds, and 2.8 blocks for the 2000-2001 season. His next 6 seasons would be what defined his stardom, as he would team up with future Hall of Famer Reggie Miller and future Defensive Player of the Year Ron Artest. But with an aging Reggie Miller and the unpredictable personality that was Ron Artest, O'Neal ultimately became the best player and most valuable player for the Pacers during this time. He averaged 20.4 points, 9.9 rebounds, 2.1 assists, and 2.4 blocks per game, shooting 45.9% from the field between 2001 to 2007. He also had 39.3 win shares, 25.7 defensive, 13.6 offensive, a plus-minus of 1.7, 1.0 defensive, and 0.8 offensive, and a player efficiency rating of 20.3 in those seasons. To put these stats in context, one player who puts up similar numbers to O'Neal in today's game is Domantas Sabonis. While a much better passer than O'Neal ever was, and not quite the defender, Sabonis has 43.5 win shares, 25.8 offensive and 17.7 defensive, a plus-minus of 2.3, 1.3 offensive and 0.9 defensive, and a player efficiency rating of 19.3. Sabonis just recently finished his 7th season. O'Neal's success on the court translated to the success of the team. The Pacers would win 312 games to 262 games lost and make the playoffs 5 out of 6 possible seasons from 2001 to 2002 to 2006 and 07. His play would get him into 6 straight All-Star games, the 2001 to 2002 Most Improved Player Award, and 3 All-NBA teams. His best season was in 2003 to 2004, where he averaged 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 2.6 blocks. He started 78 games that season, made second-team All-NBA, and finished third in MVP voting. The Pacers would go 61-21 that year and make it to the conference finals, where they lost in 6 games to the 2004 NBA champion Detroit Pistons. By 2004, O'Neal was certainly in the conversation with best big men in the league. At that time, that conversation included players like Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, and Dirk Nowitzki, 4 players with Hall of Fame resumes, if they're not in already. But it would be the 2004-05 season that would define O'Neal's career, and not in the way anyone would have hoped. The Pacers started off the season hot with a 7-2 start, which would have projected them to finish the season 64-18, 3 wins better than the last season of 61-21. Then, in a game against the Pistons on November 19, 2004, it all came to a crashing halt. The Pacers had a commanding 97-82 lead over their division rival in the closing minute of the road game in Detroit. After a hard foul at the rim on Ben Wallace by Ron Artest, an enraged Wallace came after Artest. Wallace had to be held back by teammates and security for multiple minutes, while Artest was moved by the scoring table, where he started to lay down. As Artest laid down on the scoring table, a fan threw a drink at him, which instigated a brawl that caused Artest and teammate Steven Jackson to run into the stands and throw punches at the fan. This incident was ultimately dubbed Malice at the Palace, a notorious brawl that transcended basketball and changed the landscape of the NBA forever. As some fans eventually started to run onto the court, O'Neal punched a man in the jaw who was running at him. He was subsequently charged with assault and battery for his role in the incident and was sentenced to a year of community service. He was initially suspended 25 games for the incident, but an appeal knocked that down to 15 games. Though O'Neal had a limited/non-instigatory role in the Malice at the Palace, it certainly left a black eye on his legacy as an NBA player. Not something that bodes well for a Hall of Fame case. Once O'Neal got back from a suspension in December of 2004, he was never really the same player. On top of the suspension, he had to miss multiple games during that season with a lingering shoulder injury. He finished that season with 44 games played, and the Pacers finished with a 44-38 record. After beating the Celtics in the first round, they were ironically bounced in the semifinals by the Pistons. While O'Neal was able to make the All-Star team for 3 straight seasons following the Malice at the Palace, his play and ability to stay on the floor started to seriously decline. In his final full season with Indiana in 2007-08, he played in 42 games, starting in 34 of them. He averaged 13.6 points, 6.7 rebounds, and 2.1 blocks in just 28.7 minutes per game, all sizable drops for the numbers he put up in his prime. 2007-08 was the first season he would make the All-Star team since 2000-2001, and he wouldn't make any more of them for the rest of his career. He was traded to the Raptors in the offseason 2008. By the 2008 All-Star break, O'Neal had missed nearly a quarter of the season and had lost his starting spot to up-and-coming center Andre Bargnani. He would be traded to the Heat later that season and would finish his 41 games in Toronto, averaging 13.5 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 blocks. His 2009-10 season in Miami would be his last decent season in terms of his health and productivity. He would play 70 games, averaging 13.6 points, 6.9 rebounds, and 1.4 blocks while playing 28.4 minutes per game. A variety of injuries would further plague him for the rest of his career after that season. He played with the Celtics, Suns, and Warriors up until his final season in 2013-14. From 2010 to 2014, he would play 148 games, 51 games started, posting averages of 7.1 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 1.3 blocks. For the second half of his career, you could argue O'Neal was nothing more than a role player. Despite the late bloom and sour ending of his career, how did O'Neal compare to the other big man superstars of his generation during his prime? Remember, the Hall of Fame is voted by the sports writers. From 2001 to 2007, the top-tier power forwards and centers were Shaquille O'Neal, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, and Dirk Nowitzki. Here's how O'Neal's stats match up against theirs, as you see the graphic here. From 2002 to 2007, Jermaine O'Neal shot almost 46% from the field, three-point percentage not great at 18.4, and 20.4 points per game, among other notable statistics. Dirk Nowitzki, much better, 24.6 points, 2-point percentage of 49.6, efficient field goal percentage of 51.3. Kevin Garnett, more in points per game, 2-point percentage is better at 50.5, efficient field goal percentage 50.1, free throw percentage much better at 80%. Tim Duncan, 2002 to 2007. Surprisingly, not that much more points per game than Jermaine O'Neal. 21.7 points, 50.8 field goal percentage, efficient field goal percentage of 50.9, total rebounds of 11.8. And Shaquille O'Neal, absolutely dominant. 24.1 points, efficient field goal percentage. This is insane. 58.4, 2.2 blocks, and a field goal percentage of 58.4. How bad was his free throw percentage? Pretty darn bad, 51.5. While each of those player stats are clearly a bit superior to O'Neal's, it's surprising to see how close he comes up to matching up with them. Shaq and Tim Duncan are top 10 players in the history of the NBA, and Dirk and KG are also considered amongst the best this league has ever seen. O'Neal is second in blocks amongst them with 2.4, just under Duncan's 2.5. The big difference between O'Neal and these four players was sustainability and team success. During this window, Shaq won 3 of his 4 NBA titles, 2 with the Lakers, 1 with the Heat. Duncan won 3 of his 5 titles. Dirk and KG would go on to win a title later in their careers. Also, O'Neal's only real case for the Hall of Fame is his 6 All-Star seasons. Shaq had an 8-year prime going into the 2001 season. Duncan won a championship in 1999, and he was able to develop himself into a championship-level contributor even when he passed his prime, making multiple All-Star, All-NBA, and All-Defensive teams when he was 35-plus years old. KG blossomed at an All-Star 5 years prior to 2001 and was an All-Star for 5 of his next 6 seasons in Boston after getting traded by Minnesota in the 2007 offseason. Dirk was just entering his prime around the same time O'Neal was and was able to extend it nearly another decade. To be fair, those 4 are some of the greatest to ever play the game. So just because O'Neal's career didn't play out the same as theirs doesn't mean he doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. Some of the center/power forward Tier 2 and Tier 3 stars during that time were Ben Wallace, Chris Webber, and Elton Brand. Here's how O'Neal's numbers measure against them. Jermaine O'Neal, once again, 20.4 points per game, efficient field percentage. This is where it kind of hurts him. It's only at 46%, so he wasn't that efficient of a player. Blocks, excellent, 2.4, and then fouls per game, 3.5. For Elton Brand, 20.4 points per game, efficient field goal percentage. It's better than Jermaine O'Neal, 51.5. Free throw percentage, it's still better, 75.2, whereas Jermaine O'Neal was 73.5. How about Chris Webber? Actually, Chris averaged less points per game than Jermaine O'Neal, 19.6. Player fouls, 3. Free throw percentage, 71. Total rebounds, 9.3. So Jermaine O'Neal actually had more rebounds than Chris Webber. For Ben Wallace, not a great offensive player by any stretch of the imagination. Only 7.9 points per game. But here's what hurts Jermaine O'Neal again. 47 efficient field goal percentage to just 46 for Jermaine. Ben Wallace stands out because he had little to no offensive game. He was, however, one of the most prominent centers in the league during that time frame. He was maybe the best defensive center in the league, making every all-defensive team during that stretch with 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards. He also made 5 All-NBA teams and was recently inducted into the Hall of Fame. The more apt comparisons to O'Neal would be Chris Webber and Elton Brand. All 3 have similar stats during this time. 2010 players who thrived in the post, pick and roll, and mid-range. Webber, who's now a Hall of Famer, had the better career of the 3. Like O'Neal, he struggled to find his place early in his career, bouncing from the Warriors to the Bullets/Wizards before ultimately landing with the Kings. But despite this situation, Webber still managed to put up all-star level numbers. From 1993 to 2001, he averaged 21.8 points, 10.2 rebounds, 4.3 assists, 1.8 blocks, and 1.5 steals, shooting 50% from the field. He was also a couple questionable calls away from making the finals. Elton Brand, who's not in the Hall of Fame, has the most similar career arc to O'Neal. He basically had an 8-year apex from his rookie year in 1999 to 2000 to 2006 to 07. A couple games into the 2007-8 season, he tore his Achilles and was never quite the same player after that. He was an effective role player for the next 5 to 6 seasons, but not the star that he once was. He was in essence the same dilemma as O'Neal when it comes to making a Hall of Fame case. Was he dominant for a long enough time to justify him being inducted? After breaking his career down in full, it's time to answer the big question. Does Jermaine O'Neal belong in the Basketball Hall of Fame? To answer a question with a question, would the Basketball Hall of Fame's legitimacy be in question if Jermaine O'Neal was inducted into it? The answer is no. O'Neal had a fine career, a good career, better than most NBA players and even most athletes can say that they had. At his absolute peak, you could have made the case that he was one of the best 10 to 15 players in the world, but as good as his peak was, it lasted between 3 to 6 seasons, probably closer to 3. The rest of his career was at best a high-end role player and at worst an injury-prone scrub. The malice at the Palace definitely put a permanent stain on an overall good NBA career because, once again, it's voted by the sports writers, and when you have negative publicity around you, that can follow you when it comes to Hall of Fame voting. But let's be honest, it's not like it's the only thing keeping him from being a Hall of Famer. Derrick Rose had an incredible peak of his career. He was an MVP who took his team to the conference finals. Do his 3 All-Star seasons put him in the Hall of Fame? Penny Hardaway made 3 All-NBA teams and was the second best player on a team that made the NBA Finals. Does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Not to rag on O'Neal, Hardaway, and Rose's careers, they were all good players who had some great seasons that deserve to be remembered. But when you think of the Basketball Hall of Fame, you think of the absolute best. Guys like Kareem, Bill Russell, Kobe are all players you immediately think of when thinking about the Basketball Hall of Fame because of their prolonged success. Even Hall of Famers during O'Neal's era like Shaq, Dirk, Tim Duncan, and Kevin Garnett were great because of their greatness spanned nearly 2 straight decades. Even during his peak, O'Neal was never quite on the level as those 4. Ultimately, O'Neal had a respectable career that deserves to be remembered, but he just didn't play like a Hall of Famer for long enough to be one. But what do you think? Should Jermaine O'Neal be included into the Hall of Fame consideration? Make sure to comment below and subscribe to Sports Broadcast Solutions. Todd Helton, a man synonymous with the peak of Coors Field hysteria, the 5-time All-Star and 4-time Silver Slugger winner, was beloved by Rockies fans for his fantastic play on both offense and defense. One of the greatest Rockies of all time, his success has consistently been downplayed because of his home stadium. Helton's Hall of Fame case has been widely debated among the baseball community, with no conclusive decision. Just recently, this past January, the voters almost elected him into baseball immortality. He received over 72% of the vote for Cooperstown induction, but he needed another 3% of the vote to get into the Hall of Fame. This video will look into what factors help and hurt his case to earn his plaque in New York, and whether or not it's realistic for Helton to eventually make the Hall. Let's first do a statistics breakdown. Helton played for a very long time, nearly 2 decades, all for the Rockies, and was never an easy out once he arrived in the league. Through his first 10 seasons in Major League Baseball, Helton not only managed to walk more than strike out in 8 of the 10 aforementioned seasons, a very much appreciated quality in a young player, but he also managed an OPS, or on-base percentage plus slugging, above 1, settling in at a remarkable 1.04 OPS for the entire span. Oh, and let's go back to Helton having more walks than strikeouts. During his first season of playing in at least 100 games, Helton struck out 54 times and just walked 53 times. From 2000 to 2008, Helton walked more than striking out, with his worst season, quote-unquote, being the 1999 campaign, where he recorded 68 walks to 77 punch-outs. Out of all the first basemen who played at least 1,000 games from 1997 to 2013, his first and last year in the league, Todd Helton leads the pack by 4 points in OPS, beating out Hall of Famer Jeff Bagwell and future Hall of Famer Albert Pujols. One of his biggest strengths, his vision, was the catalyst that led to his success. His magnum opus was his 2000 season, where he hit for the percentage triple crown, leading the league in all 3 major stats: on base percentage, batting average, and slugging percentage. He hit a ludicrous .372, winning a batting title and having the 3rd highest single-season batting average from 1990 to the 2000 decade. During that decade, he actually tied for 3rd in terms of batting average. The only 2 players ahead of him are his teammate, in my opinion, the greatest Rocky of all time, Larry Walker, and all-time great Tony Gwynn with his abbreviated chase for 400. This came along with plenty of pop as well, slugging almost 700 with 103 extra base hits. In fact, this was the 4th most extra bases in MLB history and 2nd most in the NL ever. It was also his breakout season, netting him his first All-Star game, but his MVP candidacy was probably hindered not only by his youth, not having been an established star, but also what is commonly referred to as the Coors effect. This is when accolades and statistics from Rockies players are seen with less legitimacy due to the thin air in Colorado, which allows for the ball to fly further than anywhere else. This has only increased as time gone on, with the Rockies playing their home games at Coors Field, with sabermetrics putting a higher emphasis on regulating stadium factors. Older players also benefited more prior to the humiditor era. Beginning last season, all 30 MLB teams now have to store the game balls to control the inconsistencies between them. Humiditators work by bringing baseballs to an average humidity, which means in a dry park they will become more humid and heavier. Regardless of stadium, Todd Helton's hitting stats were some of the best in the league over a 5-year span. His 2000 to 2004 stretch of dominance beats out the best of his contemporaries. He once again beats out Pujols, Lance Berkman, and Jason Giambi, some of the best first basemen of his era in terms of OPS. He also paces the group in homers, RBIs, and has the best walk-to-strikeout ratio of the group. Now let's take a look at his defensive stats. None of this era has even been discussed. One of Helton's best traits as well, his ability to play very well on both sides of the ball. His 3 gold gloves were no mistake. He ranks near the top of the leaderboards all time in WAR and defensive WAR for first baseman, landing 14th in career WAR and 4th in defensive WAR compared to others who have played as many games of all time. He falls 2nd since integration, just behind Albert Pujols, and of course integration means since 1947. It's important to know that defensive wins above replacement is based on calculations that give value to positions, making a premium positions like shortstop or center field worth a lot more than a position like first base. For players who play DH and first base primarily, unless your name is pretty much Keith Hernandez, the more games they play, the lower their defensive WAR goes, almost in spite of good defense. This just means that if you don't play defense, for example, a designated hitter like David Ortiz, your defensive WAR becomes virtually non-existent and in the negative column. Anyway, Helton clocks in at -5 defensive WAR behind Pujols, who is known to be one of the best first base of all time defensively as well, with his -4.1 mark. While at their peaks, Pujols may have been the best first baseman defensively, which is definitely no slight to Helton. But let's talk about the great defensive metrics when it comes to Helton. Besides winning 3 Gold Glove awards, Helton's 9.5 range factor per game is 2nd all time. His 90 career zone runs place him in 4th in MLB history. If you don't know what zone runs are, it basically means how many plays a first baseman made versus how many times the ball was hit in his general direction or his zone, quote unquote. At one time, Helton was first among all first basemen in defensive games played, at first base, putouts, and assists. The crafty lefty could simply sweep up any ball in the dirt that was thrown from his infield counterpart. In other words, he was great at picking it. Now let's compare him to Paul Konerko. Another comparable player to Helton is Konerko, albeit his prime starting after Helton's era. They are both strong offensive first basemen looking to be enshrined in the Hall of Fame. While Konerko and Helton may be similar in circumstance, they have significantly different cases. An easy way to check whether a player is on a Hall of Fame trajectory is to look at career WAR. While it's not a strict guideline, a Hall of Fame bound player, regardless of position, typically hovers in the 50 to 60 range. Helton easily meets this criteria with a very impressive 61.8 WAR throughout his career, while Konerko falls well short at only 28.1. Konerko may have been a cornerstone to a World Series winning team in 2005 and the bigger name with more homers, but other than that, he simply doesn't compare statistically to the Todd father. He crushes Konerko in all rare stats with over 100 points on OPS, more than Konerko, and still beats him handily when field adjusted, with a 133 OPS plus compared to only 112 for Paulie. Also, as shown before, he is one of the best defensive first basemen, while advanced statistics paint Konerko in a much different light. Konerko finished his career with a minus 17.5 defensive wins above replacement, not even in the same area code as Helton. Konerko will almost certainly miss the Hall of Fame because of those reasons, while Helton should be included because of them. If you're wondering, Helton hit 369 career home runs. Konerko, or Paulie as White Sox fans remember him, has a much more impressive 439 lifetime dingers. Konerko is a lifetime 279 hitter, whereas Helton finished with a very impressive 316 final clip. As you might expect, Helton's slugging percentage is much better than Konerko, 539 to 486. Now, let's do his comparison to Larry Walker. Helton's true contemporary to Hall of Fame contention is probably Larry Walker, his teammate who made the Hall of Fame recently. Overall, Walker is probably the better player according to the stats, but he also had outside factors help make him into the Hall of Fame. Walker played a more important position, did not play his entire career during the steroid era, which of course is about 1997 to 2007, and played some of his prime outside of Colorado. Not playing in the steroid era might have helped Walker's Hall of Fame case, as he put up dominant offensive numbers before the peak of the steroid era, for example 1997 to 2007. Walker also slightly outclasses Helton with awards, claiming an MVP in '97 and 4 more Gold Gloves than Helton in his career at a more difficult position as well. Plus stats, or adjusted stats, also help Walker more than Helton due to his time outside of Coors. Even at the age of 38, Walker hit .289 for a 2005 St. Louis Cardinals team that won 100 games. Walker began his career with the Expos, and while not quite the same hitter in Canada as in Coors, he finished within the top 5 in MVP during the 1992 season. As an Expo during the beginning of his career, Walker's 1994 Expos might have won the World Series if not for the owners ending the season with a strike. Regardless, Walker hit .322 for the Expos that year. Helton never spent any time away from the Denver franchise, although the Red Sox almost traded for him prior to the 2007 season. It should be noted, though, that Helton's OPS away from Coors Field is .855, better than former MVPs Christian Yelich and Josh Donaldson over similar amounts of games. No matter where he played, his bat was going to make an impact on the game. In 4,612 road plate appearances, the slugging first baseman at .287, .386, .469, with 142 home runs. His .855 OPS away from his home ballpark is higher than the road OPS of Hall of Famers Dave Winfield, .841, Eddie Murray, .838, Rickey Henderson, .836, Tony Gwynn, .835, Al Kaline, and George Brett, .826, among others. In other words, when it comes to Todd Helton, his OPS away from his home ballpark is better than players already in Cooperstown. How about this? Away from Coors Field, Helton's road on-base percentage is better than such Hall of Famers as Rod Carew, Eddie Matthews, Vladimir Guerrero, Honus Wagner, Tony Gwynn, and a slew of others. How about his postseason stats of comparison to other teams? Todd Helton's Rockies were basically pitiful during his career. They only made the postseason twice, with their magical run to the World Series in 2007 being something we'll most likely never see again, hence why it's called Rocktober and their amazing winning streak. If Helton had put up fantastic playoff numbers, it definitely would help his Hall of Fame case. Still, Mike Trout is most likely a Hall of Famer with terrible all-time postseason numbers and a very limited sample size. If Shohei Ohtani continues with his Babe Ruth-esque performances on the diamond as a pitcher and in the dish as a hitter, he'll be a no-doubt Hall of Famer even if he never plays in the postseason. If Helton had managed to put up any kind of impactful numbers, it would have helped his case. As it currently stands, Helton's career playoff batting average of .211 is very poor. In 15 career playoff games, he didn't hit a single home run. He played very well during Game 163 of the 2007 one-game playoff against San Diego, but that box score doesn't count towards the postseason numbers. In fact, there are examples of players making it almost exclusively because of postseason moments, such as Bill Mazeroski and Jack Morris, but baseball is not a sport where a single player can make enough of an impact to carry a player through the postseason. Helton also only made the playoffs 2 times in total in his career, so he didn't have many opportunities to do much in general in October. Still, it does hurt his case that the Rockies made the World Series in spite of him, not because of him. Is that why Barry Bonds is outside of Cooperstown? Nah. Belko and the steroid controversy is the main reason he's not in the Hall of Fame. But Bonds also had his postseason struggles prior to his fantastic 2002 World Series run with the San Francisco Giants. But let's take Larry Walker's postseason stats into account. His 1995 postseason with Colorado was very forgettable, but his postseason numbers in his late 30s were very eye-opening. During the 2004 World Series, the 37-year-old Walker batted .357 as a 37-year-old with 2 home runs in the series. Helton, meanwhile, was several years younger than Walker during the 2007 Rockies playoff run. Even in 2009, Helton batted just .188 with no extra base hits. During the 2004 postseason, Walker belted 6 home runs during 3 different playoff series. What am I trying to say? For Larry Walker, playing on a different team and playing well with that team can establish credibility. The Coors effect hurts Helton much more than someone like Walker because Helton's entire 17 years in Major League Baseball was spent playing in the high altitude. There may be controversy about their legitimacy with playing at Coors, but there is no doubt the stats Helton put up are extremely impressive. The Coors effect is probably the strongest argument against him, and it only has gotten stronger as advanced stats have dampened his original stats. In conclusion, Todd Helton was one half of a lethal duo in Colorado with prime Larry Walker alongside him in the lineup. They both put up elite offensive and defensive stats, despite the adjusted stats making them slightly less impactful. While Helton doesn't have the hardware and accolades that Walker has, he's a homegrown career stat leader for the franchise. According to Jay Jaffe's JAW system of evaluating peak wins above replacement, Helton is 15th all-time among qualified first basemen. That's higher than Harmon Killebrew and Fred McGriff, with McGriff recently being elected into the Hall. No offense to McGriff, but the analytics say Helton was much better offensively than the crime dog. Also, you can make the argument that the 2000 MVP should have gone to Helton and not Jeff Kent. Helton finished with a Baseball Reference wins above replacement metric of 8.9, while Kent was only 7.2. While Kent's Giants won the National League West Division, Helton's place certainly wasn't the reason why the Rockies failed to make the playoffs that year. Helton batted .353 away from Coors Field that season, and the 4-time Silver Slugger led the league in both slugging percentage and batting average. Did not winning the 2000 MVP award hurt his chances at being in Cooperstown? Nah. But an MVP certainly would have made his resume seem more intriguing to the voters. Quite frankly, Helton was arguably the best first baseman of his era. That includes Albert Pujols. From 1997 to 2013, Helton led all National League first basemen in games played, runs scored, hits, doubles, runs batted in, triples, and walks. He was also second all-time in home runs. In a 5-year span from 2000 to 2004, Helton's OPS plus stat was third behind Barry Bonds and Pujols, and from 2000 to 2005, Helton's Baseball Reference wins above replacement metric was third behind Alex Rodriguez and Bonds. And although Helton's batting prowess usually never transitioned into October, he was a main reason why the Rockies went 21-1 in their last 22 games to advance to the 2007 World Series. In a 15-game stretch from the end of the season until the 1-game playoff against San Diego, batted .377 with a .458 on-base clip and 15 RBI. The Rockies went 14-1 in those 15 games to advance to the National League Division Series. So is Helton a Hall of Famer? He might be one in 2024 or 2025. After all, he was only 11 votes shy of getting into the Hall of Fame in 2023. But for now, he's not in Cooperstown, and that's a crime and shame. But what do you think? Should Helton be in the Hall of Fame sooner more than later? Make sure to comment below and subscribe to Sports Broadcast Solutions.
everyone gets to have their dream job, myself included. Yeah, some people are brewing delicious beer and serving fine food, like these group of guys in Glenview, who are basically living my best life. We're at 1090 Brewing. Gotta get out this nightmare. Brian, are you trying to play down the glamorous lifestyle of running and owning your own brewery by saying you're the night cleanup boy?
No, I'm actually telling the truth.
You're telling the truth?
We're just putting out fires and cleaning up messes, and that's how it works around
You
here.
are destroying the myth of all these home brewers sat there like, people love my beer, I'm gonna do this full-time, start my own brewery right now.
They have fantastic beers.
They know what they're doing.
There's character to them.
Every beer tastes unique.
You know, we've always thought about flavor profiles in the food, and then we design a beer around it. And we like to incorporate our beer in virtually every dish.
And their food is fantastic.
Inventive.
It's huge that we've got a really good brewery and restaurant here in Glenview.
So what can we do today?
A pork brat with veal marinated in our half-wit beer with drunken onions. Then we're gonna make some beer tachos.
There's just nothing healthy in that dish at all.
Amen and hallelujah.
We are gonna prep our cheese sauce. Start grabbing some of the butter.
Which one's the butter? Which one's the cheese? Which one's the butter?
This is the butter. We're gonna get a nice golden brown color on that.
Hard work, Raul. I'm definitely gonna deserve this beer. We're ready to party, clearly, because both of us are wearing our Canadian tuxedos. We're like doubling up on denim here. So what beer are we using here,
We are
Raul?
using the Pilsner 1916. We are gonna reduce it a little bit.
The best way to reduce beer is to drink it first.
It's magical.
It's laughing at me.
I wish I could brush my teeth with it.
Might change the name from Canadian tuxedo to Glenview tuxedo. Oh, wow, yeah, that
get the
smell.
smell? Yeah.
When the root hits the beer, goodness.
We got some sharp cheddar cheese.
Would you wear a different Glenview tuxedo to go out on the town?
Well, it will depend on the occasion.
Friend's second wedding.
Absolutely white.
I'm with you.
Yep.
This would be like our Coles catalog. You can work in it and have fun as well.
All right, so we finish it with some black pepper, ground black pepper.
Just in time for the holidays. Get them for all your family.
Clark, that's the gift that keeps on giving the whole year.
And that's the beer cheese.
We are gonna make some drunken onions, and then we're gonna braise some bread.
And which beer are we using for this?
Half wheat.
Same as me.
The pen is getting deglazed. And
That's what I'm gonna say next time I'm having a few too many beers. I'm gonna say I'm getting deglazed.
yep.
My work here is done.
Salute.
This is my show. Salute. Don't ever do that again.
All right.
Can we eat some food? Clink me.
Cheers. You're awfully quiet.
I'm chewing right now. That broth goes with a bath in the half where that beer has soaked through in that skin, inside that pork.
The sausage is happy. The onions are happy. The mustard's happy.
You know why that is?
The beer.
They're all drunk.
Let's try these tachos.
Glenview may no longer be known as the home of the Glenview tuxedo. It may be home now of Glenview's answer to poutine. That's sensational.
Thank you.
So jealous of you guys living your dreams while I'm here working a regular job.
Before you know it, you'll know my name and how to pronounce it.
You'll know the meaning of ขอบคุณค่ะ
Before you know it, you'll call me son.
You call me daughter.
You call me brother.
You call us sisters.
Your family will make a difference in how America is perceived and what America stands for.
And we invite you to welcome an exchange student like me to your home and your family.
For over 70 years, AFS USA has brought exchange students from around the world to study in the U.S. and live with an American family for a school year, semester, or 6 to 12 weeks. Before you know it, you'll be a proud AFS host family. Visit afsusa.org.
Before you know it, you'll call me son.
You call me daughter.
You call me brother.
You call us sisters.
Your family will make a difference in how America is perceived and what America stands for.
And we invite you to welcome an exchange student like me to your home and your family.
For over 70 years, AFS USA has brought exchange students from around the world to study in the U.S. and live with an American family for a school year, semester, or 6 to 12 weeks. Before you know it, you'll be a proud AFS host family.
Hi, I'm Sean Rugstad, Caldwell Banker Realty. I'm out of the Glenview, Illinois office. I left Caldwell Banker a time of transition, thinking that the grass was greener on the other side. I was gone for 2 years and I realized right away I had made a mistake. I love the culture of Caldwell Banker. It's built around the agents. That's something that I felt I was missing before. They promote success by everybody working together. Everybody can network. Everything about the company is the best.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season. O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com.
Hi guys, this is Alan from C1 Transportation. I have good news. We are hiring over-the-road drivers with 2 or more years of experience. Our drivers make $100,000 to $120,000 a year driving 3 to 4 weeks at a time. Don't miss your chance to start driving with C1 Transportation and call our recruiter right now.
There are only 2 kinds of people in this world. Those who get committed and those who don't.
Before you find yourself in a housing standoff, get committed. Visit our website to learn more.
Before we celebrated this special night, before we fell in love with our home all over again, we searched for a company to handle our entire remodel, from architecture and material selection to permits and complete construction with impeccable design. We found Heirloom.
Visit the Heirloom Design Build Center in Lincolnwood to explore your home's potential. Heirloom, architects, builders, remodelers. Your project begins at heirloom.com.
Sure, my family loves me. They bought me this sweet new collar. My dog bowl is always full of Fido's finest. Heck, they even take care of the personal stuff on my walk. Come on, who does that? But what really sealed the deal for me was when they installed a security system from Forest Security. Hey, I'm no watchdog, you know? Forest Security offers the latest in technology and security for our home. Yeah, I'm pretty good at keeping an eye on things, but I also have stuff to do, like sleep and socialize. A smart security system can provide around-the-clock awareness and generate instant smartphone alerts. They let the family know if something is wrong or suspicious. They do all of the work for us, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know what they say, you can't trust a dog to watch your house or your sandwich. Call Forest Security today.
Call us today at 708-452-2000 or visit forestsecurity.com.
Before we celebrated this special night, before we fell in love with our home all over again, we searched for a company to handle our entire remodel, from architecture and material selection to permits and complete construction with impeccable design. We found Airroom.
Visit the Airroom Design Build Center in Lincolnwood to explore your home's potential. Airroom, architects, builders, remodelers. Your project begins at Airroom.
game-leading run to kind of excel you guys over. Talk me through your guys' offensive strategy coming back from being down.
Basically, the offensive strategy is get a basic ball hard and get people away. And kudos to our defense. Our defense put 2 double plays, and that's what kept us going for this game.
You said your defense played really well. Talk me through your guys' strategy again coming back from back down. You guys really got those stops and those outs when you needed to. Talk me through.
Well, we had Schlosser and Weinberg, who were second and shortstop, and they really communicated well because they were trying to move people around, and when they were helping, we were pulled out.
Right, now something similar here, except you guys really had a strong defensive game. The whole entire game, only 4 runs, and those were only let up towards the end of the game. Talk to me about how you guys came to the game defensively and kind of what you guys were utilizing with your defense.
Well, we start with pitching. Here, Coach A basically is the best pitcher in the league, and he holds them down, and the defense just makes the outs.
Absolutely. Now you had yourself an RBI today, 18 runs for the whole entire team collectively. What is your guys' strategy going into the championship game with your offense?
We're just going to base one at a time. One at a time. Get the runners out.
Absolutely. Now any defensive strategy, obviously you guys really cracked down. You guys were diving for everything, really communicating well between infield and outfield. What are you guys going to utilize from that game taking into this game defensively?
We got a great infield with Jones at shortstop, Nick Savage at short, Baxter at second, Oldman in the outfield is just great. So we're looking forward to playing these guys.
Absolutely. Now, Mike, same thing to you. Defensively, you guys really held it down in the end. How are you going to use that momentum going into this upcoming game?
Just keep it going. Our defense is pushing on last couple games. Got to keep it going.
Absolutely. This has been Emily Lazadovich with Sports Broadcast Solutions. We'll be right back.
Not everyone gets to have their dream job, myself included. Yeah, some people are brewing delicious beer and serving fine food, like these group of guys in Glenview, who are basically living my best life. We're at 1090 Brewing. Gotta get out this nightmare. Brian, are you trying to play down the glamorous lifestyle of running and owning your own brewery by saying you're the night cleanup boy?
No, I'm actually telling the truth.
You're telling the truth?
We're just putting out fires and cleaning up messes, and that's how it works around
You are destroying the myth of all these home brewers sat there like, people love my beer, I'm gonna do this full-time, start my own brewery right now.
They have fantastic beers.
They know what they're doing.
There's character to them.
Every beer tastes unique.
You know, we've always thought about flavor profiles in the food, and then we design a beer around it. And we like to incorporate our beer in virtually every dish.
And their food is fantastic.
Inventive.
It's huge that we've got a really good brewery and restaurant here in Glenview.
So what can we do today?
A pork brat with veal marinated in our half-wit beer with drunken onions. Then we're gonna make some beer tachos.
There's just nothing healthy in that dish at all.
Amen and hallelujah.
We are gonna prep our cheese sauce. Start grabbing some of the butter.
Which one's the butter? Which one's the cheese? Which one's the butter?
This is the butter. We're gonna get a nice golden brown color on that.
Hard work, Raul. I'm definitely gonna deserve this beer. We're ready to party, clearly, because both of us are wearing our Canadian tuxedos. We're like doubling up on denim here. So what beer are we using here,
We
Raul?
are using the Pilsner 1916. We are gonna reduce it a little bit.
The best way to reduce beer is to drink it first.
It's magical. It's laughing at me. I wish I could brush my teeth with it.
Might change the name from Canadian tuxedo to Glenview tuxedo. Oh wow, yeah, that smell.
Yeah.
When the root hits the beer, goodness.
We got some sharp cheddar cheese.
Would you wear a different Glenview tuxedo to go out on the town?
Well, it will depend on the occasion.
Friend's second wedding.
Absolutely white.
Show
Yep.
me. I'm with you.
Yep.
This would be like our Coles catalog. You can work in it and have fun as well.
All right, so we finish it with some black pepper, ground black pepper.
Just in time for the holidays. Get them for all your family.
Clark, that's the gift that keeps on giving the whole year.
And that's the beer cheese.
We are gonna make some drunken onions, and then we're gonna braise some bread.
And which beer are we using for this?
Half-wheat.
Same as me.
The pen is getting deglazed. And
That's what I'm gonna say next time I'm having a few too many beers. I'm gonna say I'm getting deglazed.
Yep.
My work here is done.
Salute.
This is my show. Salute. Don't ever do that again.
All right.
Can we eat some food? Clink me.
Cheers. You're awfully quiet.
I'm chewing right now. That broth goes with a bath in the half where that beer has soaked through in that skin, inside that pork.
The sausage is happy. The onions are happy. The mustard's happy.
You know why that is?
The beer.
They're all drunk.
Let's try these tachos.
Glenview may no longer be known as the home of the Glenview tuxedo. It may be home now of Glenview's answer to poutine. That's sensational.
Thank you.
I'm so jealous of you guys living your dreams while I'm here working a regular job.
ground ball to Jones.
Oh, sorry.
Not knows that.
Is that it?
Jones is in a short hand. One of the best. We got hot mics here. Are we looking good?
Mute him. Infield single, and so with 2 outs, runner at first for WU pitches.
Noche doing what Noche does, throwing ground balls. Jones bobbled it, but he has not been known for that this year. He's been one of the best shortstops in the league.
Chris Hayden's up the middle.
Yep, it's a base hit, and that's runners at first and second with 2 out.
That's what Chris Hayden's does. Line drives all over the place.
Chris Hayden's 2 triathlons this month, by the way. Nice fit guy and all that.
Still has an OPS of like 1.5.
Big Mike Harrison up. Always looking for a home run.
High pitch, and it's outside for a ball. 2-1 the count. 2 outs. Runners at first and second. Swung on and missed, strike 2 for Garrison. Garrison had 2 doubles, a triple, and a homer in the last game as they were the home team against Holds My Beer.
Oh, the sky ball.
Just missed, almost got him on strike 3, 3-2 the count. Fly ball, major league pop-up, and it's easy out. I thought that was 2 outs, but that is the second out. So infield fly was in effect, and that'll bring up the 5-hole hitter for Wassup pitches.
Noche giving up a couple fly balls there. Not known for that. We'll see how Wassup pitches reacts.
I mean, it's really tough pitching 9 innings. Softball, he's got to get me getting tired here. Schloss is always ready to go deep.
High ball from Noche, a little Happy Gilmore swing. Major league pop-up, should be an easy out, gets underneath it. And 3 outs for the home team in right field creep. No score, we go to the bottom of the first. It's 0-0 here on SBS. All right, so mute the mics.
Before we celebrated this special night, before we fell in love with our home all over again, we searched for a company to handle our entire remodel, from architecture and material selection to permits and complete construction with impeccable design. We found Airroom.
Visit the Airroom Design Build Center in Lincolnwood to explore your home's potential. Airroom, architects, builders, remodelers. Your project begins at airroom.com.
All right, back to the action. Kyle Smith alongside Ryan Peschke and Brandon Robertson. As it's 0-0 right field creep, only 1 loss coming into this championship game.
The 2 losers on the broadcast.
Oh man, tough loss. We just lost, I think, by 4 or 5 runs in the last game over there. Missing our shortstop. Holtz plugged in. We just couldn't get it done.
That's funny because we lost by 14 or 15 runs. We faced Noche. He dominated us. Cy Young of the year. We couldn't do anything against him. As usual, we hit all bunch of grounders, bunch of strikeouts. I mean, he's got a good defense behind him, but he also led the league in strikeouts.
I mean, dude, as a pitcher, I don't give a ton of value to pitchers. I think there's some art form. But our art form here is Noche. He is unbelievable.
Well, apparently, Auda says that the reason right field creep is good is because of their vibe. Let's see if their vibe is good enough against Chris Hayden's pitching.
That pitch, and it's inside for a ball. Out to Auda, the leadoff hitter. 2-1 the count. Ground ball to third. It's going to be close. Off the bag, E5 and Auda on first with the leadoff error.
Vibe, bro, vibe. That was an error because of your vibe. Winners.
Easy play, Robertson, and you got to make that play if you want to be a champion.
Totally gotta
Winners win, baby.
We're playing really deep with these guys up. And actually, Auda's so darn fast. I'm surprised he's playing back so deep.
Ground ball to the pitcher, 1-6 on the put out. That should be interference.
Dirty. Could that be dirty? Is that dirty?
See what the base umpire calls. The runner and Savage goes back to the bag for now, and Robertson, I think that right field creep got a break there. Looked like it was interference.
Massive. They totally got a break. In fact, Nick Savage was rolling around on his floor today. He had the flu or
COVID. I think he had COVID. He's out here giving COVID to 96 people. I think it's been like 3 years.
Short,
we can joke about COVID now.
Still get him. Savage might have been safe if he had slid, but it's hard dirt here at Community Park West.
So right field creep gave me a hard time for going in hard at second. Had to give Auda the same call back to him there. Savage peeled off like a nice base runner does, but you got to go into second hard. Too many errors for this ordinary crew out here.
Just missed for a ball. 2-1 the count. Every batter starts with a 2-1 count. So we switch it to 0-1. It's now an 0-1 count. Normal California rules, as that's now 1-2 the count.
So
Normal California rules for a travel ball, it's 1-1 count.
Yep, for the LVOG, the League of Very Ordinary Gentlemen, we start with one strike, no balls.
Just missed the plate for ball 2.
Matt Jones, scary at the plate, can always go yard, puts the ball in the play. He had like 5 doubles last week.
Ground ball. Pitcher goes after it. Tough play, but he didn't have to go after that, Robertson. I'll let you call it, but in my opinion, that's an error on the pitcher.
It's an error.
That is not an error. Jones hustled hard. Hard play to make. Actually, it was an error.
That's totally an error.
It's not necessary because you got a good shortstop that can charge that and get the force at second
Sadis
base.
is very good. Yep, could have gotten the force out there.
Sadis makes 9 out of 10 plays.
Hoffer's going to walk here.
Inside for a ball.
Big walker in the league. Don't blame him. I don't yell at him when I'm pitching. Got to throw strikes.
He's got 60 years of softball experience.
Line drive. Tough hop. Great play at second. Gets it to Azim, and that'll do it. They get runners at first and second, but they can't score. We go to the top of the second. 0-0. We'll stick with the action. Fun game right now. Right field creep. They're having trouble getting the ball out of the infield. What's going on with their hitters right now?
Actually, I'm a little shocked. Usually they move the ball a lot further out. The infield, hit the ball. Sadins is a much better pitcher than people give him credit because he's so good at fielding. They don't put him on the mound. They use his fielding and he plays 9 positions, so if I was managing Sadins, I wouldn't use him on the mound either. We just played them last game, and they had Wally Azim pitched a great game. Ultimate Beer also had 14 errors.
We got Aaron Scher walking behind us, big slugger in the league, sponsor of the league, Compass Realty, really helping us do what the charitable aspect of what the league does. We go out and we try to give back to the community.
So tell me right now, Ryan, and your game, because I didn't get to see it, what's the 2 definitive differences between your game?
Noche dominated us, and I held strong as a pitcher early, but ultimately fatigue and demoralization that we're down 10, 12, 14, 16 runs, it wears on you. You got to score early.
Andy Krause made one of the best catches I saw all season on us. He's about to hit. He had not a game-winning run, but 2 or 3 runs scored at the bottom of the 8th against us, kind of put the nail in the coffin a little bit. So Krause has had a really good game. He's back to his old form.
His old form being a 100 hitter.
106.
I joke because he's literally one of the best defenders that we have out here. I would pick him in the 5th round just for his defense.
Noche on the mound. Langager, his battle mate behind the plate, tries to barehand it. Tough play. Noche should not have barehanded that, Robertson, but I'll give the batter in the 6-hole hitter and Krause the benefit of the doubt. I'll give him an infield hit.
He gets a hit on that. That's a hard play to make. And Krause is a fast runner. He's going to be able to beat that out, even if Noche gets a bare hand on that.
At the same time, don't barehand that. Just use the glove. It's an easy 1-3 put up.
Well, Noche's about 4'5". He's kind of a little bit smaller. He's got to use that bare hand when he can.
Infield hit for Krause. That'll bring up DeWeert. Ground ball, tough play. That's an E4. A lot of errors tonight, Robertson. What's going on?
Man, I got to tell you, we had so many on the game before. Two things come into play. One, the ground is so... First of all, Kyle, these guys hit rockets. They hit little
Right, so just play deeper, though. Play on the grass.
You can play in our league, you can't be on the grass. You can
Okay.
play up to the grass. But there hasn't been a lot of rain. It's playing like cement right now. It took a bad hop on Maxer, who's been phenomenal at second this season.
I will even say that almost not even being an error in our league of very ordinary gentlemen. That's a hard hit ball. Pretty hard to make that play.
Azim thought about it, but wisely laid off. That would have been jammed for a ground ball to the third base.
Have you ever seen Goonies?
I have.
You know, like that kid named Mouth, the nickname Mouth?
Yes. That is Wally.
That is Wally.
Super passionate, very frustrating, borderline sportsmanship, yellow flag.
The best part, though, is if he's on your team, you love him. In Goonies, he's the best character, right? Because you're rooting for that team. You're rooting for him. He's on that team. Wally, when he's on your team, it's fun.
And he'll take the walk.
Very
right
cocky,
field.
very cocky.
Right field creep doesn't like it, but the gamesmanship of the game, that's a good decision by Azim. Loads the bases. Any shot to the outfield could score 3 runs.
I think right field creep took about 7 walks against me last game. Now, again, that's on me, but they can't complain about any walks being taken.
That'll bring up Greening with the bases loaded. Ground ball. Oh, go home with that. Almost get him at first. I don't like that decision, Robertson. I would have gone to the plate.
100%.
Greening, unfortunately, doing what Green does. Grounder to the right side of the action, to the field. He's known for his right field hitting, puts on the ground a lot, but he's very fast. He gets to first base a lot because he could beat a lot of those plays out. All right, next up, we got Downing. Downing, Mr. Home Run this year. Unfortunately, it was on field 5. We were on field 4. Let's see if he can put one over the fence here.
I'll bet my 4th child on it. He won't.
Runners at the corners. Hot shot to short. 6 unassisted. 3 on the double play if you're scoring at home. That was a beauty. Jones to Hoffer, and that does it. But the run scores on the fielder's choice. We'll take a break. You're watching WU pitches against right field Crete.
Get Luke.
For over 60 years, Air Room has been creating award-winning kitchens carefully executed by our in-house team of designers and remodelers. With a renewed focus on spending quality time at home, Air Room has created its most affordable kitchen transformation program yet. Introducing the Revive Kitchen. Imagine custom-made cabinetry, quartz countertops with a waterfall-wrapped island, soft closed drawers featuring walnut interiors, even an invisible phone charging station in multiple colors, styles, and configurations designed to fit almost any home. Over 14 upgrades in all. Call the number on your screen to set up a free design consultation, which includes 3D color renderings of your project. This limited time introductory offer can be yours for as little as $4.99 a month with 0 money down or 0 interest and installed in as little as 3 weeks. The Revive Kitchen, with all the luxury and experience Air Room is known for.
Like, look at who's coming up next.
Back to the action. Kyle Smith alongside Ryan Peschke and Brandon Robertson. And our in-game reporter today, Michael Napolitano, is going to give us what's going on between both teams right now.
Yeah, so far a very even game. Just 2 hits separate these teams. Could have been a couple more, but some hard hit balls listed as errors.
Okay if I drink?
Choices. 1 run separating these 2 teams as well as we get into the third inning here. But I think what's really going to separate these teams is who can hold the other towards the end of this game. It's going to come down to the wire.
Thanks you so much, Michael, as we'll bring Brandon and Ryan back in a second here. It's 1-0, a lot of ground balls, guys, and really interesting because you would think that both teams are going to hit the ball in the ballpark, but we might get old school Bob Gibson versus Denny McLean type of softball tonight.
I'm thinking we're going to blow it up here. I think these pitchers are going to get tired. Hoffer, Bagel doing what Bagel does. Base hit down the line, gets to second base. You got to put someone on the line there.
I don't know.
You don't know because you haven't watched every single play that he's had. I've watched every single play. That guy hits the ball right there every single time.
Here's the thing, Ryan. When you start hugging the line, he's going to see that, and he's going to pull it down the line every time.
No, because we got a guy over there, and they're going to hold him to first base. But when he hits it bound to the right field line like that, he's going to have a clear shot at second base. You're giving him extra bases there.
Well, if you hug the line, then you have a huge left center gap, or he shoots the box.
Got 4 outfielders out there. You can take it away. The other good thing about this is we have Game Changer. We score every single game. We have spray charts, and so we can see where guys hit the ball. He's not good enough to be able to put it where he wants it. He puts it down the right field line because that's his spot. That's where he hits that ball. If the team doesn't put a guy there, he gets big doubles there. I will also say Zagorski doing what Zagorski does, pulling up short of first base. Sorry, Zagorski, got to burn you. By the way, that's what we're doing here, me and B-Rob. This isn't a normal color. This is a roast fest. You guys think you're getting a championship game? We're here to roast you. Be better. Like us, who lost and aren't in the championship.
Strikeout.
Who?
Noche.
Little taste of his own medicine.
So, Kyle, we were talking the other day. Do you take Noche in the next draft in rounds 3 or 4? Because he's so dominant as a pitcher.
No. You got to have hitters. You got to have dingers.
Listen, dude, we scored 4 runs. He shut our team down.
No, if I have the number 1 pick, Trent Clemens.
Not number 1. No, we're talking 3rd round.
Right.
4th round.
If he's available.
I think you need slugging rounds 1 through 5, and then you could take
5?
Because there's a lot of good pitchers. You, Azim.
Dude, not
Robertson.
like that. My team gave up 18 runs. I gave up 18 runs.
Yeah, but did you give up 18 runs, or were there 10 errors?
I gave up 17 runs, and we gave up 1 error.
Yeah, was there actually 1 error? Was the scorekeeper really nice?
I have to say that because guys are going to watch this, and they're going to be like, You know, I got to back my team up. I could have been a better pitcher.
It's good when me and Robert do the play-by-play in color because we have no affiliation with the league, and we're like, yep, air.
Back-to-back strikeouts. Clifford goes down looking, guys.
Momentum shift. Hey, we're gonna stay here for the inning because Sadens dropped some bombs right there.
Unbelievable pitching, man.
Hey, I'm gonna pass it on here to Luke. Luke, take over for color here in the break and next inning.
Is it breaker?
No, we're talking.
1-0 in favor of the upset special here in What's Up Pitches. Kyle Smith alongside Brandon Robertson and Luke.
From last year.
It's a fun one, and that's what makes this championship game so great. A couple of years ago, we had the 8th seed against the 7th seed in the championship game. Evening Wood against Balls on Parade. Last year, Mound Pounders almost defeated Sultan of Schwing. A late push by Sultan of Schwing, thanks to a double by Andreas Hogue. And tonight, very interesting. It's 1-0 going into the top of the 3rd.
Yeah, this is going to be looks like a pitcher's duel with Noche. Having played him the game before, he's really dealing. And I'm sure Preshke hit on it, but throwing high strikes is killer in this league, and he's able to do it. He's one of the few guys who can really do it consistently, which just changes the dynamic of the game.
And Luke, it's 1-0. I mean, are you surprised by this? No dingers, really only 1 hard-hit ball thus far in this game.
No, not overly surprising. Again, with Sadens dealing and Noche dealing, it's really hard to make very solid contact. These guys are probably just going to try to put it on the ground and beat it out or find a hole. But I think we see more strikeouts in this game than most of the other regular season games for sure.
Right field creep, only 1 loss. Now, people can use the internet and Google it, but do you know who they lost to without having to Google it?
Us.
Who's us?
The Nature Boys.
The Nature Boys beat us. Yeah, we beat them in the regular
Trent
season.
Clemens, 10 homers coming into the semifinals.
Yeah, so, I mean, look, we beat them in the regular season. We got work earlier. Mr. Noche is Mr. October. I will have to tell you that.
Oh, see, that's a. Who is it?
Shoots the box, and they do not play straight center with it. This could be a triple. Rounding second, heading to third. It's a stand-up triple. Even if it was 50-70 bases, he still probably would have gotten that triple.
Yeah, that was a great hit. And he stayed back on that one, too, which was really nice. If you have the ability to stay back and don't get impatient, you can hit it okay. Who do we got, Mason?
We got the captain here.
Oh, we got the captain. He drafted all his neighbors.
Top of the third. No Shea on the mound. Each batter starts with an 0-1 count. Inside for a ball. They'll make it 1-1. Surprised that right field Creep doesn't have the infield in?
Oh, there's a big swing and a miss by Floyd there. Wow.
Swing and a miss. Are you surprised they don't have infield in?
No, listen, most of the guys who are catchers in this league, it's going to be somewhat of a struggle. So I don't think you see infield in most of the time because I can't remember many guys being thrown out at the plate. We don't have the accuracy in the field, and we don't have the ability to catch it at home.
Look, No Shea is a pitcher. He pitches the ball so high, it's almost like he's dropping it off the top of the ladder. Okay? So the new technique to handle this gentleman is to play way back. That's the only way you're going to see it. If you're in the box, you are looking up into the stars at this guy. So you got to take your time and watch it come in.
Inside for a ball. 1-1 count. So you have to have at least some of your feet on the dirt to be considered legal?
Yeah, you have to. You can't have a foot in the infielders can't have a foot in the grass, and two guys each side of second.
So what the shortstop doing is legal because he's going on the dirt as the pitch is being thrown. One hopper to second, they go to first with.
Yeah, as long as unless Jones is cheating, we can watch it. But he's got to have both feet in the dirt when the pitch is released. He can have it before he's fine, obviously, but.
Kyle, tell me, could you hit this guy?
Yeah, you gotta stay. You gotta stay back in the box. And
you're using my tips. You got it.
Well, that's what I would do. I was a leadoff hitter, so that's what I did anyways.
Okay.
Stay in the box, wait for your pitch. So how does No Shea grip it? Obviously in baseball, the 2-seam and the 4-seam for the fastball. How do you grip it? Is it kind of like a knuckleball or a curveball grip?
Have you ever heard of a game called cornhole?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what he's playing.
But what kind of grip is it? It's kind of like a 4-seam changeup?
He grips, I think it's full.
Like a circle change?
Yeah, I think so.
Look at him. I mean, he's hopping like a little bunny rabbit when he throws this thing.
I like that Satan's tucked in his T-shirt. He's his class. Oh, look.
Underneath that, Major League pop-up. And he dove for it, but that center fielder's ball all the way.
Otta hasn't met a fly ball he didn't dive for. That was legit. I agree.
Mike Otta dive for the ball. It was highly necessary.
Yeah, the very unnecessary dive.
I mean, he goes to ground on a pop fly straight up over his head. That was legit. Michael Otta, the energy guy.
We'll take a quick break. You're watching What's Up Pitches against Right Field Creep here on LVOG's YouTube channel.
Before you know it, you'll call me son.
You call me daughter.
You call me brother.
You call us sisters. Your family will make a difference in how America is perceived and what America stands for.
And we invite you to welcome an exchange student like me to your home and your family.
For over 70 years, AFS USA has brought exchange students from around the world to study in the U.S. and live with an American family for a school year, semester, or 6 to 12 weeks. Before you know it, you'll be a proud AFS host family.
Oh, bird's out. So
hold on, we're not on. Can we come back?
Back to the action here at Sports Broadcast Solutions. Kyle Smith alongside Brandon Robertson and Ryan Peschke. Interesting, 2-0. And we're still early, but not that early, Ryan. You'd like to see something going right now, brewing for this offense for right field.
Well, Bird's going to try to get it brewing because he's the brew master. His value as a 12th round pick is to bring a cooler full of beers for everybody. Like, I can't even tell you how valuable that is. He's got some hits this season because guys don't hug the line. They don't look at the spray charts. But his value is bringing the brews for the team.
The only thing he's brewing is an easy strikeout.
No, he's going to pop out to DeWeird right here.
I bet you.
Inside for a ball.
It never leaves the infield.
That's what I just said. A pop out to DeWeird. That's in the infield.
Oh, the odds just changed to a strikeout.
2-1 count.
So you taking the strikeout or are you taking the infield out? I'm taking the infield out. Hey, Delishka sandwich. Out to do it. Oh.
Little ground ball to short,
Schloss
close
took
plate
it.
first, but they get him by a step and a half as Bird is out on the 6-3 put out.
Good hustle, Bird.
Holzberg to Flood as that's 1 up, 1 down against right field Creep.
Do you know why Bird was still a winner? Because he has old styles in his cooler right now.
Lango.
The Music Man.
Landgager at the plate. We're at the bottom of the order, but I always think about that. The year that Burley threw the perfect game, Jason Bartlett was an all-star shortstop for the Tampa Bay Rays, and Joe Madden put Bartlett in the 9-hole. So Burley was dead tired as that shot to the outfield, but it's easily caught by the left center fielder. In this league, it's called the Rover.
Which is why Lang is good for a 300 average, which in MLB is a Hall of Fame career.
Wait, put that for a ride. Who's up? Adam Baxter. Adam Baxter!
Now Baxter, I'm going to take a strikeout bet on.
I bet you he puts it in play. Dude, he looks like Freddie Mercury 3 days before he died. He's got that mustache going.
Is that a bad look?
No, it looks good on him.
Oh!
Line drive to the outfield.
He's a fast dude, too. Go two, go
And
two. Oh.
1 out, 1
Good
on.
hustle,
Close
though.
play at
Good
first,
hustle.
but they don't get him.
Crazy little thing called love.
And
Now we got the big ultimate vibe guy up here, Mike Otta.
1 on, 1 out.
Otta had an inside the park home run. There's probably some errors in there. However, he's so fast, he does do that to you. He wreaks havoc on the base paths.
Fly ball, major league
Too
pop-up,
high.
can of corn. And with 2 outs, makes the catch. And so right now, right field Creep struggling at the plate. We go to the top of the 4th. We'll take a break. What's up pitch is up 2-0.
This is a good game.
It's a great.
Not everyone gets to have their dream job, myself included. Yeah, some people are brewing delicious beer and serving fine food, like these group of guys in Glenview, who are basically living my best life. We're at 1090 Brewing. Gotta get out this nightmare. Brian, are you trying to play down the glamorous lifestyle of running and owning your own brewery by saying you're the night cleanup boy?
No, I'm actually telling the truth.
You're telling the truth?
We're just putting out fires and cleaning up messes, and that's how it works around
You are destroying the myth of all these home brewers sat there like, people love my beer, I'm gonna do this full-time, start my own brewery right now.
They have fantastic beers.
They know what they're doing. There's character to them. Every beer tastes unique.
You know, we've always thought about flavor profiles in the food, and then we design a beer around it. And we like to incorporate our beer in virtually every dish.
And their food is fantastic.
Inventive.
It's huge that we've got a really good brewery and restaurant here in Glenview.
So what can we do today?
A pork brat with
Back to the action. Kyle Smith alongside Ryan Pesky and Brandon Robertson. 1-1 count. As that's a liner to short. Should he have gotten a glove on that? At this level, base hit, college baseball, that's a hit. You want to say E6?
I want to say 100% base hit.
Okay.
That was a missile.
Yeah, at college level, though, that would probably be made by the shortstop.
Well, the college level, that's like 90 feet further back,
right, so
too.
you get a two-hopper instead of a line drive.
Fielder's choice, Zagorski to Baxter at second. That's the value of that rover spot. A lot of for many years we played 4 wide, but that rover really helps keep guys at first base. Otter does one of the best jobs in the entire game, getting to a ball quickly that gets through the infield and getting the ball in and keeping the guy at first base and keeping that force play in play.
I've never played with Otter. He's one guy I've always wanted to be on the same team with, though. He does bring a lot to the team with energy. But if you're not hitting well, I'm also afraid to draft Otter and him just tell me not to swing in front of my family, too.
Otter does like to tell you what to do while you hit, and if you don't do what he says, you're in trouble.
He's a hell of a player, though, man.
He is a phenomenal player. I draft him all the time in the 5th round.
2-1 count as that's a liner. That might have been caught. Umpire agrees. Ball live as it's off the first baseman and Hoffer.
That's an out.
Umpire says he's safe. I agree. If he had slid, he definitely would have been safe. When you go in standing up like that, you make it tough on the umpire, but the umpire agreed with me. He's safe at first.
Think he was safe?
Yeah. He definitely beat it. Hoffer should have caught that one. So if you're scoring at home, this would be more of a fan graph scoring. So it would be a line drive to 6 and then an E3, but in a normal box score, you probably wouldn't credit the error since the runner didn't advance.
All 96 players in our league know that our umps never make mistakes. These guys are on it every time. I'm watching the GoPros. They get every single call right.
Are they pretty close?
No.
Nice pick at third.
That's a safe. That's safe.
Didn't need to tag him. He was out twice.
Ball don't lie.
Touch the base.
Ball don't lie. We're going to stay here for the break. And I want to talk real briefly about the music man and what he brings to the vibe of the game for everybody, every team. The music that he brings to our night is something special.
I was struggling 4 games ago. My family shows up and he says to me, he goes, B-Rob, heads up, I got one coming for you. And it was Old Thing Back, that Ja Rule Biggie song that I love so much. Triple. And I get back into the dugout, he gives me a hug, he goes, that's what I bring.
You know, when I scored that, it was really a single with 2 errors.
I don't do that.
But that's cool. You got on third base.
Hey man, we got a great night out here. It's probably 75 degrees. The kids are all still up playing. I mean, this is like Shangri-La for them.
You can't ask for a better night to watch Wally lose.
I mean, how selfish of Savage to show up and give 100 people the flu.
The flu, aka COVID. We could joke that he's giving everybody COVID because he has it, and because it's been 3 years, right? Like, are we still being sensitive about that?
No.
Okay. So I think Kyle just took all of our mics away for joking about COVID. Savage is up. Sadens is pitching. Sadens is pitching at Jim. He's going toe-to-toe with Noche.
It's shocking, 2-0 in a bottom of the 4th for a 60-foot bases softball game, but that's what's happening tonight. Fly ball, this should be caught.
You hit a ball to Josh Weinberg, and that ball is going to be out. It's very rare for Weinberg to make any kind of errors.
I want to just say about Savage, he's playoff. Nick has been in every championship almost since the beginning.
So fun fact, if right field creep wins, Chris Langauger and Nick Savage will hold first place for 4 championships. There's about 9 of us that have 3, myself included. Quick plug. But if right field creep wins, Savage and Lang take 4 championships. Sole possession.
Ground ball to short.
Tough hop there. When I'm watching this game back on recording and I'm scoring it, if I see a ball hit a rock, make a weird bounce, in MLB, they give a hit on those. If it's a weird hop to it, which I feel like that one was, Schlossberg's one of the best in the game. You know that, Kyle.
Yeah. Still should have made that play, though.
I agree.
E6. Especially because he was playing deep.
How'd Jackson do in game 1, you guys?
We held him. No home runs. I can't really remember what he did. A couple cans of corn.
That shoots the box for a base hit. And he'll first and third him. In fact, he'll get to second. What wheels by 23.
Jones with the wheels. That's good to see. I'm happy to see him being aggressive like that.
So Robertson, what do you want to do? Me personally, I'd bring the corners in.
I would 100% bring the corners in for this. We got Zagorski. He's not a super fast guy. Wouldn't want to run from him. He's not up. It's Hoffer.
Hoffer's taking a walk. You don't even know what bringing the corners in means. Hoffer he's 60 years old. He's seen what ordinary pitching looks like. He's going to take the walk here.
A little bit of a Happy Gilmore swing. Schlossberg, not good fundamentals. It's another error. That's 2 errors on Schlossberg.
Like I said, big hit by Hoffer. Big hit by Hoffer.
That is not a hit. That was hit right to him, a 3-hopper.
You know what? You put the ball in play, right? You put the ball in play and see what happens.
Right. No, Hoffer, good hitting, but Schlossberg, bad play at shortstop. Awful shortstop
But you'd
play.
still take him over Noche.
Yes. You can find pitchers like that.
You can find hitters.
No, you can't find. Well, Trent Clement would be the number one.
Kraus.
To your point, there's nothing like Trent Clement. He's a beast.
Well, he's number 1 overall. My point is 3rd round for Noche. Okay.
Too high.
No, it's not too high. Who went in the 3rd round? Savage, Sadens.
5 for 5.
Okay.
These guys have good years. They have bad years. If Noche throws a year like he threw this year, dude, he's a 3rd round pick easy.
So Otto's running for Zagorski here. Just so you know, I want to give a shout out to Zagorski. Officer of the Year, Police Officer of the Year.
Niles, right?
For Niles, it's a big deal for him, the league, everyone that loves him. It's huge.
It was a huge honor.
Yeah, you guys do a lot of charitable work. Mike Fox, the charitable director.
I'd like to point out that Zagorski ruined our year when he was on my team by trying to help a pedestrian push their car up Milwaukee Avenue, and he got hurt.
Ground ball.
Mike Bagel going to the right side
gets
again.
It out to short.
No surprise there.
He plays a nice second base, and he's got the
pull the
really
ball,
nice
Bagel.
Orange and yellow sneakers.
Soccer cleats.
They are soccer cleats.
They're his daughter's ballet slippers.
Are they really?
We're playing Bagel's paddle team tomorrow. I'm gonna give him a hard time.
Who's up? Noche's up. Let's see if he's your 3rd round hitter.
Definitely not a 3rd round hitter.
Fly ball
as
to center,
we witnessed
and that
right there.
does it. But we get the answer that we were hoping for.
We're gonna stay here again. We're gonna get Luke Olson back on the podcast here.
It's a broadcast, but
the reason being, Noche, he could go 0 for the entire year. But if he pitches the way he pitched this year, he's a 3rd round. If I'm managing, I am taking him 3rd round, no problem.
Would you really take him in the 3rd
I 100% would. I know we joke. It sounds like a joke. It's not.
I know, but I think you could
Dude,
get him
a
in
semifinal. So that's the thing, right? You start playing with the numbers, and you're like, okay, I would take him to the 3rd, but if nobody's going to take him to the 6th, then maybe I'll wait. But if you screw up and you don't get him, it's not worth it, man. His value is 3rd round.
In my opinion, if you take him in the 3rd round, you lose an opportunity to get a better shortstop that takes a lot of his ground balls.
Okay, I will concede it depends on who you get 1st and 2nd round.
The reason I like Trent Clement number 1 overall is because he hits for power and he's a shortstop.
Well, yes, but you guys are talking about a 1st round overall. If you get Trent 1st round overall, you got your shortstop and your power hitter.
Then you can get a no-shit
Okay,
really early.
Sure. If you're the 8th pick and
if you don't get Schloss and you're not getting Casey.
no, but if you're the 8th pick and you get 1 and 2 there, and you're picking the last pick in the 3rd round, I'm taking Noche if he's there.
That's a fly ball out to right field. Good job getting underneath that one, and that's 1 up, 1 down.
How are these guys going so fast? They're not giving us any time to talk in between innings. We're going to have to change this. I'm on the exec board. I'm going to start instituting like a 10-minute in-between inning so that we can get commercials in for our sponsors and B-Rob and I can talk.
Outside for a ball.
Patrick Greening coming off his aggressive cycle.
And Michael Napolitano coming up with a report, as that is a line drive into right field. Michael, what do you got for us?
So I spoke with
Auda from Right Field Creep, and he was telling me that the vibes are great. I was actually asked by the broadcast to go ask how the vibes were, but more importantly, I spoke with Langager, the catcher for Right Field Creep, and he was telling me that the infield is definitely hard. We've had a combination of rain and a little bit of colder nights that drop down like tonight, and you know, you've got a hard infield. He mentioned Schlosser on the other side, and he kind of told him that he is a great shortstop, and said that if he's even making errors, it's tough out there. Not to mention, Blair from the lights could be a combination here in this tight, close game.
Yeah, I like it. That's some good infield reporting.
That's a nice shot to the outfield. Splits the gap. Trying to show off the wheels, and he'll get a stand-up double. The big man, as Wassup pitches, creating havoc right now.
You could talk about the vibe.
Creep. Are you surprised by this, Michael? It's a 2-1 game entering the top of the fifth.
Absolutely. You know, the umpire was saying that it was a 2-2 game when he went back there, but I had 2-1 as well, so we're going to have to wait on his official ruling. I think you guys have it right, because that's what I had as well.
Yeah.
But it is a very tight contest here. I'm not so surprised, though, because these two teams did have a very good first game on both ends of this.
Right, but are you surprised it's 2-1 and not 11-10?
Yeah, that is true, though. You know, both defenses have been really locking it down, especially with all the errors that we mentioned with this hard diamond. I would expect a lot more to get through or a lot more to be thrown around. Something is almost thrown around there.
Yeah, nice throw to third, but that's what's tough about these 60 feet bases is it's not like normal baseball. A lot of these guys played high school ball, some college ball, D2, D3, and you have time to run at the runner and then you throw it to third base. 60-foot bases don't have time. You got to just chuck it to third base right away.
So Otto told our infield in-game reporter that the vibe is great and that they're such a good team because their vibe is really good. Not much you could do. You know, what kind of vibe are you giving out when Downey's hitting a ball to the fence on you? Well, that's like Jason Kruk hitting the ball and like hitting a home run on you.
I think this is too. They could get out vibed by Wally too. He brings a certain level of intensity.
If there's a vibe breaker, it's Wally.
Yes.
Fly ball to right field. Major league pop-up. Can of corn. And that will do it for the inning. But the damage is done. Another RBI. It's 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the fifth. You're watching Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Before you know it, you'll know my name and how to pronounce it.
You'll know the meaning of ขอบคุณค่ะ
Before you know it, you'll call me son.
You call me daughter.
You call me brother.
You call us sisters. Your family will make a difference in how America is perceived and what America stands for.
And we invite you to welcome an exchange student like me to your home and your family.
For over 70 years, AFS USA has brought exchange students from around the world to study in the U.S. and live with an American family for a school year, semester, or 6 to 12 weeks. Before you know it, you'll be a proud AFS host family. Visit afsusa.org.
Back to the action at beautiful Community Park West. It's 3-2 in favor of WU pitches. That stands for Wassup. And it's surprising, but at this point, I think this is the game we're going to get. The final score might be 8-7.
I hope so. This is the kind of action that I like. I like a low-scoring, close game. Watch out! This is the League of Very Ordinary Gentlemen, though. You're going to walk around a field, you might get hit in the head.
Yeah, keep in mind the skill level. So not everybody can throw it accurately the first and warm-ups. Head on a swivel when you're behind the base.
So we're talking a lot about the vibe. Right Field Creep's all about the vibe. What's your thoughts on the vibe winning them the game here?
So what we were saying, well, the vibe's not going to win you the game. Everybody's got a great vibe when you're winning. I think they're losing a little bit right now, and it's also the second game. And
what's going on?
Going for 18 straight innings is tough, and it's going to get more stressful, right? It's a tight game.
Yeah, just follow the ball.
It's going to be more
They're not even
stressful.
cutting to it, so just do your best.
The top 5 guys are hitting, but they may be in their heads too a little bit.
Top 5 guys, I don't think have done very much here.
About it.
We'll see what Clifford does here. Clifford's usually pretty good about going to left field with a little, 56 wedge, as Jones likes to put it. Dump it into left field. Let's see what he does here. He also likes to be a big baby and take walks, so I don't know. Nice walk, Clifford. Nice walk.
Clifford's son and my son play hockey together, and Pat's a fantastic hang at hockey practices.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah,
he's on our paddle team. He's awesome. He probably has a dip in his mouth right now. Hey, Clifford, you got a dip in your mouth? Yeah, we got a thumbs up.
Thumbs up, he does.
That's an
He also has a
inside for
cigarette in his
ball.
ear, too.
Runner
And
at
he
first.
probably golfed today. I'm guessing Clifford may have golfed today.
Runner at first. 0-1 count. That's inside for a ball.
Bird pounding a couple old styles between innings, handing them out to the team. He is actually a good vibe guy.
Yeah, I thought, was he handing beers out to the kids too?
I'm pretty sure.
I thought I saw that. He brings a big cooler and everybody's welcome to it.
My daughter was walking around with an old style. I think she was trying to find me to give it to me, but I don't
As
know.
long as it's a light beer, it's fine.
Yeah.
Right?
And that'll be a walk.
She can't open it.
A lot of walks by these guys.
It's
You know what? In a
Both teams can do
3-2
it.
game, you got to do it, right?
Right, but the problem is the more that right field creep does it, the more that Wassup pitches is going to do
We're
it.
gonna have a walk-off like Zoolander.
So as a pitcher, when I pitch, it's hard for me to take walks because I know it's going to piss the other team off and they're going to walk against me.
Ooh, good swing by Lang. He's hitting it really hard this year.
So what do you guys work on in
So
the
a
batting
312
cage?
average instead of a 308? Because that's what the stats say.
Doesn't mean he's not hitting it hard. He might be getting unlucky.
Ground ball to third.
All right, Schloss.
And it'll be a 6-5 putout. Yeah, Schlossberg gets the out. He has 2 errors on the night, but he makes up for those 2 errors with a putout at third base.
Once again, vibe guy Langauger, he's not here for his offense necessarily. In fact, he will lull you to sleep a little bit and put one over your head. He had a huge hit against us in the previous game, helped them win the game. He's here for as a vibe guy. It is hard to argue against the vibe argument that Jones puts out.
This is Baxter. I didn't realize he went to high school.
As that's a ball, they'll make it 1-1.
The math club team, right? Together.
So we were in the juggling team together. We played chess at recess during
to get alone at lunch together.
Well, no, it was the architecture room. There was other people there, and we'd play chess. We found out that you could do like E-Trade, like fake money stuff. It was cool.
Ground ball. Schlossberg with a nice pick. Azim gets the out. Not enough time to get the runner at first. In Baxter, because of the 60-foot bases, that'll put the runners at the corners with 2 out.
Freddie Mercury with the fielder's choice for sure. B-Rob thinks he looks like Freddie Mercury a couple days before he died.
Who, Baxter?
Yeah.
You think Baxter looks like AIDS-riddled Freddie Mercury?
So he looked like Freddie Mercury 3 days before he died.
Yeah.
You know what, though? I bet Freddie Mercury would hit just as good as he does.
Ground ball to third.
Olay by DeWeer.
Huge error and a break for right field creep. That puts runners at second and third. And if you're the team manager for Wassup pitches, you've got to consider putting somebody else at third base and shortstop. They don't have it tonight.
Yes and no. Listen, DeWeer's a very good third baseman. What I can promise you, though, is Auta will text me 1,000 times between now and the next game telling me that was a hit and not an error. He has never, in his mind, hit an error in his entire life.
3-3 the score.
Checking out the feed.
Okay, it's on YouTube. 1-1.
Here comes Savage.
Runners at second and third.
Apparently, COVID doesn't affect him. Still
Line
goes
drive, 1 hopper to second.
4 for 5, I guess.
Throw. And he gets it over to Mike Garrison, our pregame interview. That does it. It's 3-3.
We got some Wally screaming. I like it. We got Wally screaming.
Broadcasting network for everyone.
Hey, you stay on with me.
Before you know it, you'll call me son.
You call me daughter.
You call me brother.
You call us sisters. Your family will make a difference in how America is perceived and what America stands for.
And we invite you to welcome an exchange student like me to your home and your family.
For over 70 years, AFS USA has brought exchange students from around the world to study in the U.S. and live with an American family for a school year, semester, or 6 to 12 weeks. Before you know it, you'll be a proud AFS host family.
Back to the action at Sports Broadcast Solutions. 3-2 the score. As right field creep chasing one. And we'll see if they make any defensive changes. Does Wassup pitches is out at third, and Schlossberg really struggling right now. The problem is usually your best athletes at shortstop and one of your better throwers, your athletes at third base. Would you want to switch, put your center fielder at shortstop and your left fielder at third base? You might have to do it because I don't think Schlossberg is out to have it tonight.
Well, I think Schloss is going to stay at short. I don't think they're going to move him off.
I think,
Yeah.
to your point, Kyle, he's had a few errors the last
Bad
game.
errors.
He had like 12 putouts against us, and traditionally he's one of the best players in the league. He's earned that spot
Right,
no
but
matter what.
we're not talking about what he did yesterday.
season.
We're talking about what he can do now. Sometimes you just don't have it. Sometimes, as that's a little fly ball into left and the unnecessary dive, but he dove anyways.
Ought to hit the ground. So Mason, again, he drafted his neighborhood, right, Brandon? And he's not well liked in Tall Trees, so I think he was trying to
He actually
make
drafted
some friends,
my
right?
whole neighborhood except Carson and I. And Stevens too, but I think he went out of his way to avoid me. Could have got me in 10 rounds. Decided to go another direction.
Yeah, he told me he was going to pass on you continually. So
Good
Garrison
move.
said they're starting to like Mason a little bit more, but he's still a little tough to hang around in Tall Trees where there's
Ground
one way
ball.
in and one way out.
The pick, nice backhanded pick. And they call him out. He was out by a half step.
Freddie Mercury with a great play.
Didn't like it.
Super excited for him.
Weinberg is indeed called out. 2 up, 2 down.
Oh.
You'd like to see your second baseman shuffle the feet, basketball shuffle, regular alligator instead of backhanding it like that.
Well, that'd be a lot to ask out of Baxter. This is his first season in the league with us.
Did he play high school or college ball?
No.
Yeah, backhanding at second base, unless you're desperate, shuffle those feet, get underneath it alligator style.
He's really done a good job for being his first year, though. He knocks
Well,
the ball down, he hits the ball hard.
That's what's great about softball is a lot of guys will pull the ball, so you can put some of your weaker defenders in right field and second base.
100%.
You put your fastest guy in left field or left center. You put your best athlete at shortstop, one of your better throwers at third base. It's through the hole for a base hit. Wassup pitches. They came to play today, and it's up to the #1 overall seed in right field creep to answer. The good news is for right field creep, they're the home team today.
Softball is a massive game of momentum, and right now they got the momentum going. And Sadens, in my opinion, might be one of the best athletes in all of LVOG. Now here comes Garrison. He looks like a Viking. Tomahawk chop.
That's inside for a ball.
Yeah, when Mike landed in Newfoundland and discovered America, it was a great day for him.
Oh, gets through the hole, did not touch that one. That was a
Baxter's
tough
kinda one of
play,
every
so
two
it'll be a
grounders.
double for Garrison.
Mike?
He's going to round
Oh,
it
too
for the
fast.
triple. Can they get it in quickly? They do. And if they hadn't, guys, Garrison was thinking an inside the park home run all the way.
He would have gotten winded, probably been out at home.
God, he is so fast. He's 6'5", you know.
He's a nice athlete.
He's huge, man. And he's got wheels.
He's like 61 years old, too.
He's not young, that's for sure.
Can sure play
I
ball.
asked him about his first Beatles concert one time. He did not like that.
You got some athletes, though, in this league. Matt DiMuzio, I had no idea he was in his 50s. He looked like he was 31 years old, the way he was pitching. It's a liner into the right center gap. Good job getting to that ball, but he bobbles it. And it'll be a double and an error for Schlossberg. So Schlossberg is committing errors in the way he's hitting the ball. With that top spin on it, it's creating errors for the other team as well.
You can feel the momentum starting to shift
Yeah. They're getting the right field creeps a little quieter than they were in the first game.
Andy Krause, only man to ever get away with murder, literally.
Killed a drifter, didn't he?
At a rest stop on I-83.
Yeah. Glad to see him. He's out and he's free.
Bottom of the 6th, we'll have another report by Michael Napolitano. As it's a close one. Surprising, the way right field creep was playing in the semis, I thought they would dominate this championship game, but that's what's great about these doubleheaders. People get tired. Some people think they're in shape, and they're actually not in shape. And these doubleheaders prove that.
They're doing a great job of staying back on these pitches by Noche. That's got to be interference by Hoffer. Let's see if Bob makes a call here to get yelled at by.
Here's the thing. He's got to be in the baseline. If Hoffer's getting out of the baseline, it doesn't matter if the runner runs into him. The runner only has right to the baseline, not the banana out of the baseline.
He should have pushed Hoffer over, though.
Do you think Hoffer could save
get ejected.
We know Bob. Bob wouldn't kick him out.
Do you think Hoffer could save some leg supports for the rest of Glenview?
Outside for a ball.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know. He has all of them on.
Hey, O'Connell.
Well, we got that new medical supply store opening on Glenview Road, so Jim can probably swap out some of the knee braces.
2-1 count. Swing and a miss. Bad swing. What do you guys work on in the batting cages? Is it normal baseball swings, or is it more Happy Gilmore type of swings?
Well, that involves me going to a batting cage, which I should probably do. The difference with the batting cages, I do think, is you don't get the same arc. So
right. Even if it's slow pitch, you don't get the same arc that a Noche or a Demusi will be throwing.
Girls under 9, because it's low. It's like. Joe Hoffer.
Michael Napolitano, our excellent field reporter, will give us a report. What's going on in the game, Michael?
So I just spoke with Azim from the What's Up Pitches, and he was telling me that the decision to change him from pitcher in the first game to second baseman in this game was solely because he's a very animated guy. I was talking to him, he's sweating. The kids were coming up to him asking him why he's sweating. He said, because I'm putting in work right now. He was also telling me that would get the other team fired up, and he knows they're not they're very hesitant to swing as far as the other team goes. So they wanted to get a different look in there, a more calm pitcher that would keep them that way so that they could stay strong in their defense. Another thing is that this humidity is picking up too. We're seeing a lot less errors. I wonder if the ground's kind of softening up here.
What inning is
and
it?
Guys are kind of getting the feel for the infield. However, What's Up Pitches did just open it up this past inning.
Right, yeah, and they have to work on that, Michael. 2 errors by Schlossberg at short, 1 error by Auda. We talked about in the broadcast, are they going to make changes on defense? They do have capable defenders if they want to make that switch. Look, it's not that they don't like Schlossberg or Auda, but you want to win that trophy, and if it's not your night defensively, sometimes you got to make that change.
Yeah, we always talk about later innings, you want to kind of close up the gaps, tighten things up, and that's not what happened this last inning. The gaps were found and runs were scored, so they're going to have to tighten it up here going forward.
Yeah, no more errors for either team. Michael, thanks so much. We'll see you in the 8th inning.
Absolutely.
Michael, go ask Downing how it feels to be a couple innings away from his first championship.
Yeah.
Okay. And then go ask Langauger on the other team how it feels. Would he rather have his 4th championship or let Downing have his first championship? Okay.
Downing's knees, you said?
No.
Just missed the plate for a ball.
Away from
I heard knees.
Bottom of the 6th. 6-3 lead for WU pitches. Line drive, nice catch by Schlossberg, so he makes up a little bit for those errors.
So a little bit of a scouting report. Jackson loves the high ball, does not like the low ball. Sadus gave him a low ball, nice line out. I try to give Jackson a really high ball burner, which I know he won't swing at because it's a ball, and then come back in with a tight low one. It worked the first inning. He laid off the second inning, second at bat.
Line drive to the outfield, splits the gap. Goes off the wall, thinking 3 is Jones, but he'll stay at 2.
I told you guys 15 minutes ago, MJ, double, 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 double. This guy hits more doubles than anyone.
Yeah. You might need to consider tightening up that left center gap, playing straight center, and forcing the other team to go to straight right with it.
There's nothing you can do when a guy's hitting a line drives, though.
True, but if you play straight left center, that's a line drive right to the left center fielder.
You're right. Kyle, I think you should come out and manage.
I've seen too much baseball and softball. Too many years of both good players and bad players. I have a good baseball story for you, as that's a forced out of first base. Royce Clayton was so bad at hitting that one time there was runners at first and second, and Jerry Manuel pinch hit for him, and all Royce Clayton did was pull down a sacrifice bunt. He had no confidence in him swinging the bat with runners at first.
Do you know who Royce Clayton replaced in the at shortstop position?
Jose Valentin.
Huh?
Jose Valentin.
No, Ozzie Smith.
Not for the White Sox.
No, for the Cardinals.
Well, I knew that. I'm talking about when he played for the White Sox.
Well, I'm talking about when he played for the Cardinals.
Okay.
Back to the action. We've got Sadens, and we got Jackson pinch running for Zagorski because Zagorski's hurt again.
Jackson's got to be a top 10 fastest guy in the league.
No.
You don't think so?
Probably.
I draft him first every year, Kyle.
That's why you lose every year. Have you won a championship?
I have not, but I've been there. It smelled nice.
What was the score of that championship game?
I was Evening Wood. You remember that?
Yeah, you guys stunk that night.
Well, it was 44 degrees. I'm more of a
Well,
warm weather
it's the
guy.
same degrees for the other team, too. I hate that excuse. It's the same weather for the other team.
I agree. Terrible excuse.
So the outfield.
Air on second base.
Did he touch it, though? He's out. Oh, he dropped the ball.
Dropped the ball. DeWeird. Kyle called it. DeWeird. Kyle thinks DeWeird should be replaced. Who are you going to replace him with, though? Are you going to replace him with?
Here's the thing, because everybody
Downing.
pulls the ball in this league. If you put a weak guy at second base, but he hasn't played a lot, like he's the extra hitter.
The problem is DeWeird's one of the best third basemen we have. You need to watch more LVOG.
Oh, third base. Okay.
Third, yeah. You got to watch more LVOG. We're all really bad.
Well, that's why it's called the very ordinary gentleman,
That's
not the
exactly
extraordinary
right.
gentleman.
Which is
But you guys
exactly
do
right.
have some D2 and D3 former college players,
We
right?
try to keep him out of the
Who were
league,
they?
but it's really
Who are
hard.
the D2, D3 players?
Holtz.
Jones was D3.
That's
But he'll
still,
let you know about
it's still a thing.
D3's not.
De La Rosa.
D3's not a thing, though, right?
Lucas.
Anybody D2 or D1?
Cohen. Yeah.
Who was D2 or D1?
Holtz was SEC D1.
Yeah, Kentucky, right?
Right. And
Yeah.
then Foreman played at Northwestern.
Noshea
played for the Yankees.
Noshea was a D1 girls UConn softball pitcher until his sex change.
SBS After Dark tonight, I guess.
That's the way LVOG is. It's all after dark. Noshea with the walk, as usual. You know what? Right field creep really, I couldn't throw strikes. They exploited me. They took their walks. I'm not going to complain about it. You got to throw strikes. I'm the type of person that says, if you're a pitcher, you got to throw strikes. All right, we got Clifford up. Guaranteed he's going to left field right here.
Inside for a ball.
Clifford, go to left field. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. 54 wedge. Little blooper to left.
Bases loaded, infield fly into effect. That's why the guys are a little bit shallower. If it goes to the grass, it can still be infield fly. Infield fly called. Actually, that was 2 outs. Sorry.
He did go to the left with it.
All right, we go to the top of the 7th. It's still 6-3 in favor of What's Up Pitches here on Sports Broadcast Solutions.
For over 60 years, Air Room has been creating award-winning kitchens carefully executed by our in-house team of designers and remodelers. With a renewed focus on spending quality time at home, Air Room has created its most affordable kitchen transformation program yet. Introducing the Revive Kitchen. Imagine custom-made cabinetry, quartz countertops with a waterfall-wrapped island, soft closed drawers featuring walnut interiors, even an invisible phone charging station in multiple colors, styles, and configurations designed to fit almost any home. Over 14 upgrades in all. Call the number on your screen to set up a free design consultation, which includes 3D color renderings of your project. This limited-time introductory offer can be yours for as little as $4.99 a month with zero money down or zero interest and installed in as little as 3 weeks. The Revive Kitchen, with all the luxury and experience Air Room is known for.
Wally's up. Fireworks, dude. I'm predicting fireworks here. Are we live?
Yeah. Top of the 7th. Outside for a ball.
Wally is up. I'm predicting fireworks. I think they have the momentum, and if Wally gets a big hit here, he's going to scream.
Base hit for Azim. And I get why Azim is happy there, Brandon, but think too out the box because it's only 60-foot bases.
Wally Azim will yell for anything at anything.
Right, but they're only up by 2 runs. You need him at second base, not first
Wally
base.
could be down 20 runs, and he'd scream if he got an out.
I think he should have went to second on that.
But you know what? That's a vibe killer when Wally screams. It gets in your head. Nature Boys, we were too quiet. We let the right field creep vibe take us over. When you got Wally on your team,
plays it perfectly. 6 unassisted, 3. 2 double plays. This is the first time in the history of SBS broadcasting the championship game to have double plays. It's happened twice.
You haven't
right
hit
field creep, and they are still down by 2 runs.
You haven't watched Greeny hit the ball enough. Lots of ground balls to the right field.
Well, let us do the quarterfinals and the semifinals, and we'll get more double plays.
I like it. I like it
too. I think we should have walk-up songs for the playoffs too.
You should tell Chris Langauger, the music man, that. I think he would love to do more work.
It's so tough when we end up with double headers like this, man.
What was your walk-up song that you were going to have if you had made the championship? Mine was Night Train, Live, Europe album, Guns N' Roses.
1 hopper to short, should be an easy play. And it is. They get the leadoff man on in Azim, but a double play and a ground out to short. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's time to stretch. WU pitches here, leading by 2 on SBS. We'll stick with the action for the 7th inning stretch.
So my walk-up song, if we made the championship, was Guns N' Roses' live album, Night Train. I recommend you go check it out. They open it, all right? It's this guy who introduces Guns N' Roses to the audience. He goes, "You wanted the best? Well, they didn't fucking make it. So here's what you get. Guns N' Roses!"
I know.
Could we be on the same team next year?
Why don't we? One of us has to manage, so we just pick the other guy.
Well, you know, we both pitch. We both play a bad second base.
I only want to play second base.
I know, but like, there's better second basemen out there, like Baxter. Better second baseman than you?
Inning, Michael Napolitano here to give us a report. Michael, what's going on in the game thus far?
So I was informed to go speak to Downing from the What's Up Pitches, and it is almost his first championship. I don't want to say it too loudly, and he's told
Jinxed.
himself that he's
You just jinxed him.
He told me he's a very superstitious person, so he's a couple outs away. He wanted to give like no comment on this, but he will say that he's very excited, but they have to lock down their defense going further.
What was your name again?
Mike Napolitano.
Mike Napolitano. I hope you didn't just jinx the commissioner of the league.
No, I even told him, I went over there, I said, I'm not going to say it too loudly, so we're going to be okay. And I was told to go over and speak with Langager and ask him whether he would rather have his fourth victory or his third and give the first to Downing, losing here tonight. Now, he told me to talk to him after the game, but he did say that he's going to be happy either way. So nice to know that there's a little camaraderie on both sides of things, and there's some friendship off the field, especially knowing how this league started back in 2020 during COVID, and that's really nice to know that everybody's still friendly off the field.
You got to give a lot of credit to Downing for where it started, the board. Ryan's on the board here, and where it is now. And especially, Kyle brought up Mike Fox earlier, all the charitable events and money we've been able to raise for so many different families in the communities. It was really the heart of it.
We got to give a big shout out to Andrew Lewitt, who is the title sponsor here, the premier sponsor with Wintrust. They came in, donated a ton of money to LVOG, and what we've been able to do is take all of our sponsors' money, Andrew Lewitt's included, and donate it back to the community, to all the best charities that Glenview has to offer to help everyone around Glenview.
Yeah, it's really cool about the Little League supporting a player, especially with contributing towards Dick's Sporting Goods. What got that charity going in terms of getting it going and seeing what kids need to be playing ball but they can't afford it?
So obviously Glenview, a North Shore suburb of Chicago, you think that you have a certain, perspective of the league. but it's not true of the town. It's not true though. There's actually a lot of underprivileged people in Glenview that we're able to help introduce baseball to, who can't afford these travel teams, these local teams. They can't afford, these families can't afford to give their kids this opportunity. And so what we've done is set up a scholarship where anybody who doesn't feel that they can afford the ability to play travel baseball, we've given them the ability to pay that for them and give their kids an opportunity to play. So we got a little bit moving here. We got some ducks on the pond here. We got Baxter on third. We've got Otto on second. Otto with a huge double to left field. He pulled the ball, which he should be doing all year long. He tries to go to right way too often.
Now we got playoff Savage up. Another guy who's got 1 million rings. Got off his couch to come today. He's been sick for a few days.
Minus 1,000 to score these 2 runs right here. I guarantee you he drives in these 2 runs. What do you want to bet on it?
Well, he asked about college players. I think Nick played at a D3 school of college baseball, too.
Oakton?
Ground ball to the pitcher,
like
and an easy play for Stevens, and that will do it. Right field creep, they threaten, but they still can't tie it up. We go to the top of the 8th. It's 6-4 in favor of Wassup pitches here on SBF.
If right field creep doesn't pull this out, I'm going to blame it on Savage and him giving COVID to the entire team. Like 18 innings, like.
Not everyone gets to have their dream job, myself included. Yeah, some people are brewing delicious beer and serving fine food, like these group of guys in Glenview, who are basically living my best life. We're at 1090 Brewing. Gotta get out this nightmare. Brian, are you trying to play down the glamorous lifestyle of running and owning your own brewery by saying you're the night cleanup boy?
No, I'm actually telling the truth.
You're telling the truth?
We're just putting out fires.
I did have a hypothetical philosophy for a long time that putting your best outfielders out there was better than having a good infield, because if you give up a hit to the infield, it's a single, right? So, like, to your point, take Schloss, put him in the outfield, put him at Rover, put someone who, like, might be okay at shortstop, but, like, if the ball gets passed, it's a single. It's not, if you hit the ball to the outfield and you got somebody that drops the ball, that's a double, triple, or home run.
Well, what you can do is you can play on the warning track and everything is in front of you, but you can't give up easy ground balls to third and shortstop. It just kills you. Not only you're giving up base runners, but just mentally you're like, how did I mess up that ball? And everybody, your teammates are like, how did he miss that ball? And mentally speaking, you're out of the game.
I agree. Can I make a prediction here? Moose is gonna plop one into right field right here, or right back to Noche for an easy out.
Man,
that's
the
really problem with
for that. Turned over on that.
Dude, Moose has actually had a really good year. He was putting balls into right field a ton, and right field creep was not playing him for that. He should have been patient. Listen, it's Noche pitching. You can say whatever you want to say about guys hitting and doing whatever they want to do, but when Noche's pitching, there's really nothing you can do. Put the bat in the ball, try to get the ball in play. That's all you can really do.
Ground ball, foul ball. You only get one more foul ball in this league, just to keep the pace of the game.
Yeah, the strike zone just got a lot tighter for Kenny Elliott. Another guy over 50, who looks like he's 25, by the way.
Fly ball into the outfield.
Little bloop. I'm sure Otto will dive for it, but he doesn't need to, because is that Jackson that made the error?
Feel a vibe change happening here.
So the rule of baseball is if you touch it and it's up in the air, it's usually an error. Even though it was a bad read by all 3 outfielders, because it was touched, it's usually written down as an error. So that is an E8, because there's no left center fielder in actual baseball.
Yeah, I mean, B-Rob and Jackson are kind of butt buddies a little bit, and I know they really like each other. But the thing is, Jackson, second rounder for me, because he makes some errors in the outfield.
Yeah, I think he's a first rounder all day. If you can get him on a swing 8, 9, 10, you won the lottery.
Are you going to take him 4th overall? You are, because you're good friends with him. But, like, there's some drops in the outfield.
You know who really played well this year is Vitale, man.
That hit the plate.
First overall with all the
That's a
trade.
strike.
First overall?
I did.
Oh, would you again?
Not first overall, but I was in the first round without question. I would take Trent.
So like eighth?
Outside for a ball.
Oh, fifth, third. Holtz. I think you got to go Trent, Holtz.
And that hit the plate for a called strike three. Terrible at bat. You got to at least put the ball in play.
I agree. No-Shay, though, is so hard to hit. They're having success to get them.
They have 6 runs tonight.
They are
having
having, well, 6 runs, though. Like, in our league, the average run score is at least 15. So, even still, even though they're winning the game, No-Shay is such a good pitcher. You got to force him to throw strikes. I do agree, though. You got to swing at that pitch.
That's a really tough strikeout on a really nice guy. But he is wearing his daughter's socks.
So that counts for
Lucky
something.
socks, the daughter socks.
His daughter's soccer socks. Little knee hires.
Ground ball gets in between the shortstop and third baseman. And it's going to be a double. He went to second before the throw. It's a double and an error.
So can I just say something here? This is why teams lose. Because they throw home on a play that you're not going to get the guy. You got a guy at home that's not going to be able to take the ball off the bounce. We're ordinary gentlemen here. And now you let Josh, who had a basic single, great hit. Good job, Josh. Got a single. Now he's on third base.
What you got to do is you got to have your third baseman come in, cut that off really quickly, and then you get that runner into a rundown, then you nail him at second base.
Or you don't let that guy throw to home base. Throw the ball in a second, keep Josh at first.
Third base has to be better at saying cut, or getting a late cut. It's on the third baseman as well. He gets the out, but the damage is done on the air from the left fielder. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 7-4 in favor of WU pitches.
Hi, I'm Sean Rugstad, Caldwell Banker Realty. I'm out of the Glenview, Illinois office. I left Caldwell Banker a time of transition, thinking that the grass was greener on the other side. I was gone for 2 years and I realized right away I had made a mistake. I love the culture of Caldwell Banker. It's built around the agents. That's something that I felt I was missing before. I started my career here, I built my career here, and they promote success by everybody working together. Everybody can network. You're gonna get tips and tricks, everything to help you succeed as time goes on. It's being rebuilt in ways I would have never.
I'm frustrated.
Back to the action at beautiful Community Park Field West, field number 4. Michael Napolitano has an update for us. Michael, what do you got?
I spoke with some of the fans during the break, and they were also complimenting the atmosphere here. We've got the music going. There's a lot of former players in the stands that are even saying that the music and the atmosphere here is making them forget that they lost earlier today. So the pain's kind of subsiding for some of those guys. The whoop, there it is, was going on while I believe it was Weinberg hit that double that he extended into a 3-bagger. And the whole side by me just erupted. So just a really nice community atmosphere here. And I tip my hat to you fellas for the production that's going on here tonight.
Oh, thanks, man.
You know what? Honestly, it's we're all friends and neighbors, and that's why this is so good. Is because we all know each other. We have a light side to it. We don't take it too competitively. We obviously all want to win.
Fly ball, and that's going to be an easy pop fly catch in center field. 1 up, 1 down.
And as opposed to like a Park District League or whatever, where like it's only your team and you don't care about the other team and you're trying to truck guys and like you only care about winning and going out after, like here, like we all know each other. We're all friends. We're all
kids go to school together, right? So all the wives are friends. And
it's making me want to put the scorebook down and go take a couple swings myself. So I'm enjoying.
Well, there's a 60-man wait list, so but we'll put you on there, man. Do you live in? If you got to live in Glenview. But
I'll stay recording.
Here's the thing, though. Start your own league in your own town. This is what it's about. This was all started during COVID when we had nothing that we were allowed to do. And me and Donnie were like, hey, we could play softball. I'm like, oh, listen, man, look at these girls are playing softball here. Why can't we do it? So we contacted our paddle team. We said, hey, everybody bring a guy, and let's all go play softball. It'll be fun. It was so much fun that we decided to do it the next week and the next week and the next week. We did it 8 weeks in a row, and we ended up, so many people ended up playing because guys couldn't play, so we had to get another neighbor. Jones with a big swing, topped it to Schloss, who eats it wisely. Let's go, Jones. Vibe it up, baby.
Well, competitive or friendly player or observer, I'm just interested and excited to see how this one plays out. We've got still a lot of good softball ahead of us here.
This is actually one of the
Michael are doing a great job for us tonight.
It's actually one of the best games we've had all year. I mean, a low scoring, good game. Defense matters. Every at bat matters. This is what we want to see.
1 out, 1 on. 5 outs to go for this number 1 seed. They were the favorite coming into this tournament, and they're struggling right now.
They're having a really tough time. I mean, it's a momentum shift, obviously. But Jones is scary from first base. He's fast. He could score double here, puts him at home.
Yeah, you know what else? My brother's here. Big shout out to Peschke Brothers Barbecue. You know why? Because I'm the announcer, and I get to do what I want. Hoffer with a big hit to left field.
He might have missed second base. I'm interested to see if WU pitches appeals at second.
Well, once again, Mason Floyd throws it into third base instead of throwing it second. Now Hoffer, who can barely run because he's injured, look, he's got a pinch runner coming in. He's at second base. Now you got Jackson at second base, where an easy single scores both runs.
You got to be better at that. And it's all about the cutoffs. They got to work on this in practice. Schlossberg, Auda, they got to call for it. Cut. Make it first and third. Once you throw it to third, it becomes 2 runners, 2 ducks on the pond. Ground ball picked up, and they throw it back. I think he's out. Base up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Bob. Let's go, Wally.
Oh, my
Let's start screaming, baby.
Terrible base running and a break for Wassup pitching.
I agree. I think that was an out all the way. Wally heads up play. Yes, sir. Let's go. Raise the volume.
He looks safe to me.
Yeah,
well,
that's a
you
good
can't
point because it looked like it was in his glove and he tagged him with the ball in his hand, the glove in the other hand.
I think he was safe too, Kyle.
When Wally's involved, it's hard to go against whatever he's yelling about. So
well, he'll yell about anything. Even
that's
if
my
it's pop
point.
Wide
That's
left field.
I know. That's Auda too.
That was the problem coming into this game. It's like rooting for 2 Darth Vaders. You know, you have loud Wally, obnoxious, getting his team going. Then you have the vibe team, loud, obnoxious, rubbing it in your face after every bad at bat, and then there are all these other quiet teams. But something's got to be said for these loud, obnoxious teams. They're making it to the championship all the time. They're riding on these vibes.
I gotta say, I'm rooting for the underdog. I think Wassup pitches is an underdog. Their team is pretty good, but Jones's team is better on the season.
That play, Brandon, you probably want to eat that one. It was going to be an infield single all the way. Luckily, it was picked up at first base. If that gets past them, you got 2 ducks on the pond.
Garrison's a great first baseman. He's actually one of the best in the league, which is a conundrum because he's also one of the better hitters in the league. So it's like, do I draft Garrison with my first round even though he only plays first base? Again, he's one of the best first basemen.
I would love No Shea to get a big hit here.
But he's probably just going to pop out.
Most likely.
Nice pitch. Ground ball. It's a slow-moving one to Azim. Underhands it, and he gets him. And
he
the
didn't pop out.
Base running at second base does in right field creep. A break for Azim. And Wassup pitches. I hate to count the outs, but they're 3 outs away. We'll take a break. You're watching the championship game here on SBS.
It's like 7-4.
Isn't that putting the cart before the horse? Yep. You're not supposed to do that.
Nowadays, you have to, especially in the housing market, where you need to get a mortgage before you find the house. That's why with the Get Committed program from Compass Mortgage, you'll have a fully underwritten loan commitment that stands out even amongst cash offers. Not to mention, once you find the perfect home, you could close in as little as 15 days.
Hey, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You're pretty big on horse metaphors, huh? Nay.
What inning is it?
Good evening, everybody. It's top of the ninth. 7-5 score. Kyle Smith alongside Ryan Peschke. Ryan, we got ourselves a dandy. What's great about this league, the home team always has the advantage. So WU pitches, you want to score a couple of runs to not feel so easy going into the bottom of the
Wassup pitches, gives us up and out. Garrison with a weak grounder. Pretty uncharacteristic for a Garrison swing there. Swing at the first pitch against Noche. I don't like to see that. However, I will say, Wally is a few outs away from another championship. These hits that he managed had a huge play.
That's an error because he was playing right behind the bag.
So I'll say it's an error because Jones has played so well this year. That was a hard hit ball. That's a hard.
But he's
that's a hard.
right behind
I
the
agree.
bag,
I agree. He should have made that play. Schlossberg puts a big top spin on that ball, though.
He's not playing defense tonight, but he's playing excellent offense tonight. Runner at first, 1 out. Noche's going to pitch all 9 tonight.
Krause.
You got to wear
so
that.
Krause had a phenomenal offensive year last season. Let's see if he can channel that right now.
That's not true. The season, the fall season.
No. It was spring.
Ground ball through the hole.
Look at that. Base hit. And
Schlossberg's going to stay at 3. Thought about scoring, but
okay.
he's going to stay at 3. He's going to score regardless on a ground ball unless it's hit back to the pitcher.
The vibe is not helping right field creep win this game, though. Vibe has been lost. Let's see Otta. Otta's yelling at people.
If right field creep loses, I dare you to go right up to Otta and try to give him a hug after.
I think we need our infield reporter, Mike, to go talk to Otta right after the game if they lose. See what happens.
I can definitely do that. What I've been noticing from this last couple innings here is dews starting to set in on the ground here. That last play, a little slip in the outfield, and you really got to tighten the gaps like we were talking about earlier because issues like that can happen. It can lead to injury and also more runs.
Try to get the double play. It's close. They get him. 1.
I gotta say, Noche is not throwing the ball as high as he usually does. Still gets the double play. Cy Young for sure.
An excellent play at shortstop. That's 3 assists tonight for right field creep shortstop in Matt Jones. We go to the bottom of the 9th. They're chasing 2. The home team right field creep as we stick with the action.
So this is huge. We are 3 outs away from Adam Downing, the commissioner of the league, the guy who grew this league to what it is, okay? Getting his first championship. I can't even tell you how amazing this moment is because at the end of the season, Wassup Pitches was kind of a middle-of-the-road team. Dude, for them to come in and get to this point and almost take this championship 3 outs away is unbelievable. I am so excited for Downing. And not just that, but if he wins, then Chris Langauger and Nick Savage don't surpass me for total championships won. So, I'm really rooting for Downing.
Here's the way I look at it. Downing's one of my best friends outside of this, right? We hang out all the time. I want Downing to win. At the same time, Wally's on his team. So if
your neighbor,
my next door neighbor,
who lets his dog poop on your lawn
100% of the time, all the time, and he will be over in my house at the bus stop too every morning with a trophy like he was last time.
With these hits.
And my kid's holding his trophy, asking me why I don't have a trophy. So kudos to Wally on that. But I would like to see Adam get his first chance.
Oh man, so hard. So many villains.
3 outs away.
So many heroes on both sides that it's just what makes it so fun is all of our friends. You just can't help but being happy for whoever wins.
No pitching change. They're going to stick with the starter. Slow move.
Terrible swing by Clifford.
Garrison, 3 unassisted, 2 outs away.
Clifford, light up another sig, bro. That's not the swing you want.
It's too soon.
Too soon? Too soon.
Rocking the sweatpants.
We got Bird up now too.
Bo also left Clifford off the roster for tomorrow against
You're
Realo.
looking for a walk here. You got to get on base.
Let's see how they shift him. Okay, so Weinberg's hugging the line pretty good. I agree. They got to take the walk because Bird really puts the ball when his hits this year all like essentially were within a foot of the line over the third baseman's head. Right where Weinberg's head is. Yeah, right there, right to the third baseman.
Ground ball to third base, and they get him. 1 out away. Here we go. Auda makes up for the air with a huge play in the bottom of the 9th.
Cracking old style, bro.
And here we go. The number 1 seed, who we thought was going to dominate tonight in right field creep. They're down to their last out. They really haven't played well the entire night.
Listen, the music man has the music blaring. I can't wait to find out if he liked his song selection here.
Ground ball.
First pitch.
Do it. Schlossberg. The throw to Garrison. And
That's
the
it. Downing got
2023
it.
fall champions.
I hope he doesn't have a
Wassup
heart attack.
pitches.
Someone just tried to lift him up and said, fuck that.
Fireworks, baby!
Let's go.
Downing gets his first championship. Wally gets another one. Garrison gets one. Kraus, what a team effort. The unlikely heroes, Mason Floyd puts together a friend group from his neighborhood who's an average team during the regular season, but comes out and wins the championship for Downing.
I'm really happy for Mason, especially Adam. I'm really glad Adam got his trophy.
I can't wait for pictures of Wally standing on your lawn with the trophy.
Too soon.
It's going to be epic, dude. The fact that Downing got one is unbelievable.
You were interviewing players from both teams going into the bottom of the 9th.
I actually didn't even have the chance to speak to Auda because he was out on the field, but I didn't have to because he was trying to pick up Clifford from him emotionally being down from an error he made in the previous inning. And he said to him, he goes, look, go up there. We've got 3 outs to work with. We're not done here. And he's like, it's just a game. We're still in this. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. Clifford then had his head down again here at first base.
Auda never feels like it's just a game. He goes 110% all the time. Listen, right field creep, listen, I'm going to be honest. They proved they were the best team this season, but you know what?
Auda could
They were the best team this season if they had played.
Does Auda have a dog?
Pitches 10 times. Right field creep would have won 9, but that doesn't matter. You play them once, elimination.
You can't help but wonder if the doubleheader affected Noche's pitching. You know, you got to pitch 18 innings.
And that's where
I'm telling you, he was still
play. Sometimes you put your number 2 pitcher in the semis to keep your best pitcher warm for the championship.
Listen, Noche was.
With Azim, as he was saying that pitching change. Another thing he was saying too is everybody doubted them. He said they had no shot at being here, and here they are. They switched pitchers, and like you mentioned, Kyle, that was exactly what they needed to get this W tonight.
Satan's pitched a hell of a game. I'm not going to lie. I mean, he crushed it. I gave up 18 runs. Satan's gave up far fewer than that. 5 runs on the evening. That is a pitching masterpiece by Satan's.
Chris Satan's is. I said this early on our own podcast, really early in the year. I said he's one of the best players in the league. He always falls to like the 4th round for some crazy reason. The intangibles he brings to every game. He hits every time is a hit.
I will say, after pitching 9 innings, he's going to lay in a cryo chamber for about 9 hours. He's really into that kind of stuff. He's going to have an ice bath tonight till about 2 a.m.
He did run 2 triathlons this month. 2. That's insane. I have to put my shoe on a stair to tie it. This guy ran 2 triathlons.
I have a special stair I sit on when I put my shoes on, too.
I wish Velcro was in style. I just zip up, man.
Look at Downing.
Final thoughts about the win tonight, guys. It's WU pitches 7, right field creep 5, the underdog. They were the home team for their semi because they played the 7 seed in Holds My Beer. Wassup pitches comes back to win that one, and then they won tonight. They were pretty much the better team from the opening pitch. They had better at bats than right field creep. It looked like Wassup pitches had been in the batting cage this week, not so much for right field creep.
I think Wassup pitches actually did go and have batting practice this week. We talked to Schloss on our podcast, and to be honest with you, I'm going to say Wassup pitches from the beginning put some balls in play. They transcended the vibe.
So that does it for our broadcast. So for Brandon Robertson, for Ryan Pesky, Michael Napolitano, I'm Kyle Smith alongside Eric Ratchey. Post-game show with the lovely Emily Lazarovich, as she'll try to get either Mike Garrison or somebody else from
Downing
from Wassup pitches. We'll take a break. More LVOG action coming up next.
Yeah.
The early 2000s was a weird time for the NBA, a post-Bulls Jordan league that lacked an overall depth and talent, yet was the last premier era of the NBA big man. You had established superstars such as Shaquille O'Neal, Chris Webber, Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, and Alonzo Mourning. You had the up-and-comers such as Kenyon Martin, Marcus Camby, Ben Wallace, Dirk Nowitzki, Pau Gasol, Tyson Chandler, and Elton Brand. You even had the veteran Hall of Famers on their last leg, such as Hakeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Karl Malone, and Dikembe Mutombo. Truly a golden era of big man in every phrase of the word. And the big man we'll be focused on today would likely fit in the early 2000s up-and-comer bracket, Jermaine O'Neal. Drafted 17th overall straight out of high school in the historic 1996 NBA draft class that featured Kobe Bryant, Ray Allen, and Steve Nash. O'Neal became the youngest player to ever play in an NBA game at that time. His career lasted 17 seasons, playing for the Trailblazers, Pacers, Raptors, Heat, Celtics, Suns, and Warriors. After joining the Pacers for the 2000-2001 season, O'Neal's career hit an apex that lasted from the 2001-2002 season to the 06-07 campaign.
Ever since I was a little kid, I've been interested in the ideas of justice and fairness and equality. That's why I became a lawyer. I have the opportunity to advance these ideals. Now more than ever in our world, it is important that we highlight these issues. It's important that we fight for these issues. And my clients know that Keating Law Offices will not just fight for them, but they will fight for these ideals.
Coldwell Banker Realty. I'm out of the Glenview, Illinois office. I left Coldwell Banker a time of transition, thinking that the grass was greener on the other side. I was gone for 2 years and I realized right away I had made a mistake. I love the culture of Coldwell Banker. It's built around the agents. That's something that I felt I was missing before. I started my career here, I built my career here, and they promote success by everybody working together. Everybody can network. You're gonna get tips and tricks, everything to help you succeed as time goes on. It's being rebuilt in ways I would have never imagined. Our back-end system is amazing. It's so in-depth, it's very intuitive, really a great tool that they offer to us as basically your portal for business. Everything that you could ask for is available at your fingertips, and if you don't know about it, our office staff is amazing. Everything about the company is the best.
Not everyone gets to have their dream job, myself included. Yeah, some people are brewing delicious beer.
This is Emily Lazadovich with Sports Broadcast Solutions, the broadcasting network for everyone. Today we're here with champions Mason Floyd, Adam Downing. Now, this is your first championship that you've had with WU Pitches. First win since the league started in 2020. Tell me about the energy. How are you guys feeling now that you are finally champions?
I feel like $1 million. I'm so proud of this team. Mason was our manager. He did a great job. Everybody on this team up and down the lineup performed throughout the season. There were big timely hits, great plays in the field, amazing plays in the field, great pitching. There were some times when I wasn't sure we'd get here or even close to here, but we started gelling at the end and the momentum kind of carried us into the postseason. And we won today and then earlier today, and then we said we can do this. We can knock off Goliath, the number one team. And we were number 7?
Yeah, number six. Yeah,
Sorry.
don't slide
I feel like we should be 7.
Yeah.
So obviously that underdog kind of expectation from you guys, even in that semifinal game, you guys wound up coming back, hit a couple really big, triples, doubles. Talk to me about your guys' offensive strategy. Obviously they're a very competitive team. Talk to me about your guys' offensive strategy coming in here and what you guys kind of talked about.
Just had to believe in offense. We build around defense. We hustlers, a lot of speed on the bases. It's just getting out there and getting those extra bases. We knew the runs were going to come. Stay patient, believe. This team was built around vibe. I told Adam from the start, these are a lot of my good buddies, and that's why I wanted to manage. And I'm so excited to bring the commish his first championship, and also his first home run in
this season,
in
not
week
tonight,
4.
But yeah, week 4.
Yeah,
but that was the best feeling ever.
Yeah, cross that off my bucket
next
list.
To this, yeah. First season manager, by the way.
Yeah,
Rookie manager.
This is easy. What's so hard?
Now, obviously, you said you were going to work around the defense. Defenses was what your guys' base was. Obviously, going into the game, they had 18 runs last game. What was kind of your guys' defensive strategy? Obviously, you guys have been working on it, kind of attacking that and kind of keeping those balls, communication between the infield and the outfield with getting those pop flies as well.
Sure, it starts with pitching. We have 2 great pitchers. We worked all season in Wally Azim and Chris Sadens, and we rode the hot hand. Chris shut him down hard. If you would have told me today that the final score is going to be 7-5, I wouldn't have believed it. We've had final scores in the 30s.
So low scoring, yeah.
It's crazy. So it starts with the pitching, and then we have an unbelievable infield led by Mike Schlossberg, our number 1 pick, but all around plays. They're really, I can't even remember an error that we made tonight. We really secured the ball.
Absolutely. Congratulations, 2023 champions. Again, congratulations to you both, and we will be right back.
For over 60 years, Air Room has been creating award-winning kitchens carefully executed by our in-house team of designers and remodelers. With a renewed focus on spending quality time at home, Air Room has created its most affordable kitchen transformation program yet. Introducing the Revive Kitchen. Imagine custom-made cabinetry, quartz countertops with a waterfall-wrapped island, soft closed drawers featuring walnut interiors, even an invisible phone charging station in multiple colors, styles, and configurations designed to fit almost any home. Over 14 upgrades in all. Call the number on your screen to set up a free design consultation, which includes 3D color renderings of your project. This limited-time introductory offer can be yours for as little as $4.99 a month, with 0 money down or 0 interest, and installed in as little as 3 weeks. The Revive Kitchen, with all the luxury and experience Air Room is known for.
Before we celebrated this special night, before we fell in love with our home all over again, we searched for a company to handle our entire remodel, from architecture and material selection to permits and complete construction with impeccable design. We found Air Room.
Visit the Air Room Design Build Center in Lincolnwood to explore your home's potential. Air Room. Architects, builders, remodelers. Your project begins at airroom.com.
Sure, my family loves me. They bought me this sweet new collar. My dog bowl is always full of Fido's finest. Heck, they even take care of the personal stuff of my walk. Come on, who does that? But what really sealed the deal for me was when they installed a security system from Forest Security. Hey, I'm no watchdog, you know? Forest Security offers the latest in technology and security for our home. Yeah, I'm pretty good at keeping an eye on things, but I also have stuff to do, like sleep and socialize. A smart security system can provide around-the-clock awareness and generate instant smartphone alerts. They let the family know if something is wrong or suspicious. They do all of the work for us, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know what they say, you can't trust a dog to watch your house or your sandwich. Call Forest Security today.
Call us today at 708-452-2000 or visit forestsecurity.com.